Live from the VVR studios in downtown Boston, it's showtime. Welcome to Violent Vinyl Radio. I'm your host, Des, and as always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts. First up, the podcaster holding bullets, Dangerous Dave.
Gabba gabba hey, everybody.
Aw. And last but not least, the podcaster who likes the dark side of the beat and not the Ramones, Lisa.
I hope no one really thinks that we sniff glue. I stopped when I was 8.
8?
That was a quote from Dee Dee.
I got my boomstick right here. I've moved on from the fucking model glue.
Oh, God.
Dave, where can the listeners find this fine podcast?
We are available on most podcast outlets. Also, check us out on YouTube. Give us a listen, like, subscribe, and share. I mean, hey, you're here already. You're listening to us. Keep on listening. Make sure you tell a friend about us. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. It helps out the show. I think you can probably also rate us on Spotify. Please do. Hell, just leave a comment on our posts and say hi. You can find us on all our social medias too. We are on Instagram at VVR Podcast Insta, INSTA, like Instagram. And we are on Facebook at Violent Vinyl Podcast.
All right, go get a fucking shirt and a coffee mug at vvr.printify.me. That's our merch store. Thank you in advance. I did skip over this, so let's do it now. As always, the mission of the show is for us to introduce each other and you, the listeners, to albums and bands which you may never have heard before, while also discussing the classics like today. So sit back and enjoy the show. We're off to a swimming start, guys.
Yeah.
I think you're using classics a little willy-nilly here.
Am I
This is a
wielding
classic.
Am I wielding it like a child with a gun? Someone's gonna get hurt in this episode. All right, let's head over to the mailbag. Guys, did we get any fucking mail?
We did.
Oh, nice.
I want to say welcome aboard to some new Facebook followers. Horatio, Dimitri, David E. Black, Will, Bobby Emmons, and the great Gene Dante. Thank you and keep listening.
Gene Dante liked my new song. I was very excited about that.
We've earned a top fan badge for the Trench Dogs.
Ooh,
So that's cool.
that is cool.
And Alex Osoler wrote in and asked where the VVR chart can be found. We let him know it is not currently publicly published, but
Let me step in here. I've got my finger up that people can't see it at home. So I wanted to, I had this written in my notes and you've just like set me up perfectly. So we as a show decided that we were going to start a group Google Doc where we were just going to start putting albums and bands onto this doc that we could choose from. So something like Blondie never happened again. I'm joking, Dave. I'm joking, Dave. I'm joking.
Bad call.
I'm joking. Okay, I'm kind of joking, but not really. So what we thought would be fun and it would help the show grow is if you guys had a band or an album that you wanted to add to the list. So this could be like listener participation where you guys are participating with the show and you're helping us choose the content that we're going to fucking vomit back into your faces. You could either go to the YouTube channel or you could go to the Spotify channel or you could go to the Apple channel and leave your album or your band suggestion in the comments on either of those three. And we will take your band or your album. We will put it on our list. We will put your name next to it. So if that album gets chosen, you will get credit for the suggestion and for the pick. And it will also help the algorithm. So there you go, Dave. Sorry to step on your boots. Keep going.
Yeah, no problem. Alex wrote in asking about the VVR chart. It's not currently publicly published anywhere, but we're going to try to work something out soon. We let him know. I do remember on the old show, then when we got to a certain milestone, I forget if it was episode 50 or episode 100, I did make a graphic post of the top 10. So maybe we'll do something like that. We'll see how that shakes out. Henning wrote in regarding the Dokken episode and says simply, quote, awesome episode, guys, with a thumbs up. Thanks, Henning. Glad you liked it.
Yeah, Henning. What's up?
Yeah. On Instagram, welcome aboard to H1 Massive, Bablu, K2L Latifa, Elizabeth with the E at the end, KGF Boss, and David Tavita. Keep on listening.
Yeah, Babalu.
Yeah.
Is that like Desi Arnaz?
Maybe. I don't
Oh,
know.
Bablu.
Babalu.
Babalu.
I like it.
H1 Massive made a really nice post thanking us for the praise of Gene and the Future Starlets song last show. So that was pretty awesome to see.
Great song.
It was an awesome song.
I believe that's up on our Instagram.
What else are you going to say about that? It was a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So finally on me on Spotify, Radio Universal sent us this about our Dokken episode. In quotes, triggered. Dangerous Dave, what's wrong with cheesy 80s movies and nudie bar scenes? Love this album. However, whoever mastered this should be fired. Listen at loud volume and your ears literally bleed. So much compression.
So
Also
much.
hated the drum sound. Dokken never had a good drum sound until Dysfunctional. Haven't heard that one. Hidden Gem, Back for the Attack, the song. Secret Weapon, Jeff Pilson. I'd trade Don for Ray Gillian.
Nice.
And yes, Don is a dick. Talks trash about his band even now. Another great VVR episode.
Thanks, Radio.
Yeah, thanks, Radio. Why would someone need to be so negative when they have the dream already? Like, why?
I couldn't tell you. So thanks for writing in, Radio Universal. Nothing is wrong with cheesy 80s movie nudie bar scenes. They rule.
Of course.
However, I think the bar for music quality on a major label album should be a little higher.
Nice. Nice. Lisa, did you get anything?
I got nothing. No one talks to me anymore. Dave gets all the mail now. Yeah.
Jeez,
I mean,
flip the script.
I got a few people, saying that, like, they remember Dokken like you did, like A Comfortable Blanket, when it was one of the only things there was to listen to at the time. But yeah, not a lot of detailed stuff. Come on, guys, write to me. Jeez.
So last week after the Gene Dante thing, I got all excited to write a song in that vein, sort of. So I wrote a song called Blown Kisses, and I am not familiar with that style of music. So I sent the raw tracks over to Lisa. I said, Lisa, can you help me? And she said, dude, got to get rid of those rock and roll drums. You got to get. So she fucking produced this thing up for me, gave me like a whole list of notes that I needed. And I went in and tweaked it. And I think it came out pretty fucking good. It's called Blown Kisses. So go over to YouTube, type in Blown Kisses by Dez, and you will be taken over to my channel where all my music is. And you can listen to this song and just know that without Lisa's production and cliff notes, it would have sucked ass. But I think it came out pretty fucking good.
I think you're wielding the word producer pretty willy-nilly here as well.
No, it's like Desmond Child. Like you came in, you were like, yeah, no, this song is fucking okay, but it sucks. So you got to do this, this, and this. And
I told her it's exactly what a producer does.
it's exactly what. And actually, this is the second song she's produced for me. So there you go. But she did a lot on this one, and I'm really excited. I thought it came out really, really cool. Not what I usually write, but it came out really good. So go over and check it out. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. And fucking yeah, man, help me out. I want to stop painting.
I was excited you went a little gothy and dark, especially in the vocals. I was like, ooh, little Peter Steele in there going on.
It's like drama. It's more like Count Dracula.
That's what Dave said.
That's funny. Okay, let's head over to the VVR melting pot. So as you know, we are trying to share music from independent bands and songwriters. And this week we are featuring Dogs of Verona. Lisa, what do you got on these guys?
Oh, cool. So this band out of Atlanta, Dogs of Verona, great name, by the way. Very Shakespearean, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anybody remember Two Gentlemen of Verona, the very first supposed play by Shakespeare, which includes the dog, Crab, the most unruly dog, and was a favorite of Queen Elizabeth. So,
I was asleep in English class.
If I'm being honest, I've never heard of that.
Oh my God. Okay. Verona, also the city of Romeo and Juliet. How about that one?
I know that
Okay.
What, with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh my God.
I'm confused. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
So the band was founded by David E. Black and his guitarist Jimmy Mullins at the time. And the way that he found us is that I have a Bukowski quote on my page, "Find what you love and let it kill you." And he had a song from Dogs of Verona that had that same name and a whole theme. And he sent that over to me. And I was like, wow. And I didn't know it was his band at the time. And I was like, wow, this is great. Like, this is the exact kind of music that we love, like that gritty glam punk. I was like, let me hear more of this. And he was like, no, that's my band. And I was like, hey, let's talk a little bit and let's see if you have a song that you can feature with us. So the band out of Atlanta, they call themselves a dark rock band. They do travel around, especially up to like the Tennessee area where they have a kind of sister band that they play with. Tennessee near Chattanooga, which is where our favorite fan Kim is from.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe Kim has seen this band before. So they travel quite a bit. They're currently recording some new material. And they've been a band since 2007. So that's nearly 2 decades of music in their pocket at this point. While the lineup has changed a lot, David has been kind of the one constant in the band. He also has some other projects which are still ongoing, including being the frontman of Dogs of Verona. He has a project called Cynical. This project is super cool, very gothy, dark, like post-punk. This project goes all the way back to 1989, and they have lots of other music out right now, including a great song called Trapeze from 2023, from their album of the same year called This Will Happen Again. The album was mixed by John Fryer, Nine Inch Nails, if you recognize that name.
Holy
Yep,
shit.
and features performances by members of Bauhaus, Love and Rockets, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, James Hall, Faster Pussycat, Jenna Torturers, and the Murder Dolls.
Nice.
Personal favorite there. Yep.
Nice.
He had a project called Smack, which, funny story, had to change their name. Anyone want to take a wild guess why they had to change their name?
Why?
Because there was another band with that name.
From San Francisco.
From San Francisco?
No, actually, the other band was from Finland, but fun joke. Yep. There. In Dogs of Verona, we also have Billy Fields. Do you recognize that name? God, I hope you do. Tell
No.
me you do.
I
Superstar in the Atlanta area and far beyond, keyboard player and synth player. He's played with HR from Bad Brains, Arrested Development, spent many years with the Indigo Girls, also had another project called Follow for Now. This is the one I'm interested in. This was a 1987 rock band. Their guitarist is David Ryan Harris, who's played with Dave Matthews, John Mayer, Santana, Collective Soul, as well as in the Brand New Immortals with Johnny Cult of the Black Crowes. Big crossovers here. Anyway, the band, Follow for Now, was a huge part of the movement of black rock music like Bad Brains and Living Colour and Fishbone and all those bands that were coming out at that time. They did very well. They had one studio album in 1991. I can't even begin to list all the musicians that he's worked with, but yeah, huge guy there. Also in the current lineup is Troy King on drums, Shane Corley on guitar, and Noel Page on bass. The band has tons of music available. They generally shy away from too much streaming, actually. So you'll find a lot of their stuff on YouTube. They have a song called Nevermore, which is one of their newer songs, very, very gothy and dark, a different feel than the song we're about to hear. And actually does similar to your Blown Kisses song, to be honest. Yep. So if you like that. In addition to Dogs of Verona, David has other projects and other music available on his YouTube channel. He's been a musician from way back in the day, just like you guys are. Puts out a lot of stuff, just like Des does. So I like that connection there. So David's band also, and not just this band, but pretty much all his bands have like paid tribute to the Ramones. So related to this podcast we're about to do, he has a live version on his YouTube and his Facebook of "We Want the Airwaves" Ramones song, which is really, really fun. And they're in this like gritty, grimy little tiny club that's like packed with people and everybody's sweating. And that's I guess the favorite kind of show that he likes to play when everybody's really into it. Yeah, he has a little bit of Iggy Pop on him in that clip too, if you want to go check that out. So I'm naming just a few of the songs that he has here, as well as Dogs of Verona, and lots of live performances that you can find on YouTube. This song Static has technically never officially been released. It has, and technically not purposely uploaded on streaming, although they did accidentally upload it to Bandcamp for like a minute, and it was gone. But But yeah, it's dark, it's synthy, it's gritty, and we'll listen to it and see what you think.
So I was creeping around on David's YouTube channel, just going through his songs, and I stumbled on one that I thought was really good called Flesh. It's not from this band, it's from one of
Yeah.
his other bands, but it's a
Mhm.
really good song. You should go check that out. And this song is not a studio recording that we're about to play you. This is a live recording. Am I right?
Yes. This is
Okay.
a live recording that we're about to hear. There is a video version of this available on YouTube that is completely different. And along the lines of, you know how when Nine Inch Nails puts out a song and then they remix it 100 times and put out
Mhm.
100 different versions, and this one's for the video, and this one's for a movie, and this one's for that's the kind of thing he does with his music. He's constantly reworking it, constantly re-releasing. You do that too sometimes.
I do.
So,
I do.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I have to re-upload it with like remix or final mix so people
Right.
listen again.
Really done now.
Yeah. I'm thinking, you know what's funny? I don't have a Bandcamp, and I'm thinking I could get so much more mileage out of my songs if I did a band. I just strictly do
Mm.
YouTube, which I think is
Yeah.
a mistake. So
Bandcamp is great. SoundCloud is also good. So,
SoundCloud, yeah.
yeah.
Thinking about expanding to those platforms,
Yep.
but whatever, we'll see. Dave, you want to say anything or?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of covered
Okay.
most of it, but yeah, this track is a newer version of the song. We kind of covered the band bio. Google AI says their music features melodic, atmospheric, and often melancholic tones.
Ooh.
Their Bandcamp is at dogsofverona.bandcamp.com. They have an Instagram at Dogs of Verona. A few photos down from the top, they have a live video of them playing this song. Looks like the band is made up of drums, bass, guitar, keys, and a lead singer. And their YouTube is at, it's all caps, dogs-of Verona.
Did you take a look at the video for this one?
I saw the live video.
Oh, you saw the live
Yes.
video. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a studio video that's kind of a black and white end of the world, like gothy, flashing, cool thing. They extend the song a bit. So I think it's a little over 7 minutes on the video for the YouTube video. It's really cool. And we were talking, Des, when we were talking about your song Blown Kisses, about the format of a gothy song, right?
Mhm.
Big long intro, right? Standard verses, dance breakdown in the middle,
Yeah.
right? Potentially a guitar solo, and then your long play out, right? And that's exactly what we get here. So
Yeah, guitar solo with got to have some weird effect on it.
Got to have some weird effects.
The
That's
drum,
the
the
rule.
drum fucking beat is very, very important, people.
It's very important. Yes.
Yeah, I had it all wrong.
You
She's
gotta
like,
get
yeah,
that.
yeah. She's like, you're doing goth with dogs to more drums. Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So without further ado, coming to you hot from the VVR melting pot, I present to you Static. All right. Nice job, dude. And,
That was really cool.
and I'm so, thanks so much for sending in your music. And again, I think we got one more in the barrel, but we need more. So guys, come on, send in your fucking music. Send in your friends' music. Send in your brother's music. Send in your boyfriend's music. Send in the music.
So what did you think of the song, Dave?
So this tune for me had elements of different styles that I enjoy a lot. And I'm just going to kind of give you what the kind of essences were for me. First, the verse gave me like these Pink Floyd vibes, and I love Pink Floyd. So right away, it gripped me. I was like, "This is good stuff," right? Then it's sprinkled with some like Sabbath, right? Like I'm hearing Sabbath. It's so good, but not at all. Like I would never say, "Oh, this sounds like Black Sabbath." These are just vibes it's giving me. And then finally, it's topped off with like some, and I know, Lisa, you're going to roll your eyes, but some like 90s Manson style vibes.
I have the same note.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But this all comes together in a very original way. So none of it, I'm not listening to anything and be like, oh, it sounds like Pink Floyd. Oh, it sounds like Black Sabbath. It sounds like, no, it's just these like three nice little flavors that come together nice into this really original sounding song. So I enjoyed it very much. Nice job, guys.
It's cool when something can remind you of something without actually copying. So that's the vibe there. I also got a Pink Floyd vibe, dark, a little more metal.
Yep.
From the song. Nice guitar layers. Sounds heavy with a smooth guitar solo. I liked it.
Yeah.
A lot of guitar going on in this song.
Yeah.
I'm surprised both of you heard Pink Floyd in this. Maybe it's because I don't particularly like Pink Floyd. That is totally not in my notes.
Me neither.
What the fuck is wrong with you two? Pink Floyd is amazing.
Yeah, I don't.
Ugh.
And I didn't hear that at all. But I did, just like you, catch the early 90s Marilyn, undertones there when he was like epically cool and still doing those like crazy, like American Family,
Yes.
American Family stuff. That's the stuff I got. I also got a little bit of Nine Inch Nails out of this. Totally like some industrial, some metal. It's really cool. And I loved the guitar solo. The guitar solo doesn't appear in the YouTube video. So when I heard the live version, I was like, wow, they really shouldn't have left that out. It was so good. It's just so smooth. It really adds something to it. So, yeah.
Were you guys picking up on any of that like kind of Sabbath flavor?
Yeah, well, definitely metal. And whether it was Sabbath or even a little maybe Deep Purple riffs or something. Yeah, something like that. Really darkness they brought in underneath. And it wasn't that it was a metal song at all, but there was a few riffs where I was like, yes, it's going metal, Yeah, totally cool. I loved it.
You're telling me if I put on Welcome to the Machine, you guys will both turn your nose up at it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, David, no shame. No shame. He just says, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, follow Dogs of Verona on all platforms. Give David E. Black a follow as well, because he puts out a lot of his own music. And I was hoping to kind of promote a show that's coming up for them, but right now they're actually in the studio working on some new stuff. So look out for their new music coming soon.
All right.
All right. There you go. All right, David, write in. Let me know if you like Pink Floyd more than Dangerous Dave. Tonight, we'll be discussing Rocket to Russia, the third studio album from the Ramones, produced by Tony Bonigavi. And no, bad.
Try it again.
Bon Jovi?
There you go.
Yep.
Sounded too much like Bon Jovi. What did I say? Bologna has a first name? And
he is a relation.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Tony Bon Jovi?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Wait a second. Did I spell that wrong? Because I haven't spelled
No.
B-O-N-G.
Bon Jovi.
That's the correct spelling before
Wow.
showbizzing it up.
Yeah.
Got their hands on it. So, wow, that's crazy. I wanted to say Bon Jovi, but I thought that sounded stupid, so I got all fancy and went Bon Jovi. Okay, and T. Erdely. Lisa, can you help me with his name?
I would think
Erdely.
Erdely.
Erdely, yeah.
Elderly. Okay,
Well,
it was
he
released
changes his name so that you'll be able to say it really easily soon.
We'll reveal the alter ego.
Okay, well, at least everything's going to get sorted out because these names are difficult and I don't just sound completely stupid. This album was released on November 4th of 1977 on Sire Records. The album reached the number 49 spot on the U.S. Billboard 200. The band's lineup was as follows: Joey Ramone, lead vocals. Johnny Ramone, guitars. Dee Dee Ramone, bass guitar and backing vocals. And Tommy Ramone on drums. So we've got all Ramones for this one. Good stuff. Dave, do you have any facts on Rocket to Russia?
I do. What are the odds all these guys have the same last name and,
So
and they
cool.
would wind up in the same band?
Huh.
I love it. It's like the Brady Bunch or the Partridge Family.
Yeah. The Ramones were formed in 1974 in Forest Hills, Queens, New York. They are one of the creators of punk rock. Each member of the band made their last name Ramone as a stage name, reportedly inspired by Paul McCartney of the Beatles, who would check into hotels using the fake name Paul Ramone to avoid crazed fans. So they're not actually related. And it's stage name.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
Dave, I told you to leave that out of the notes.
Here's some stats according to Wikipedia. Quote, the Ramones performed 2,263 concerts, touring virtually nonstop for 22 years, and released 14 studio albums. In 1996, after a tour as part of the Lollapalooza Music Festival, they played a farewell concert in Los Angeles and disbanded. You hear that, Kiss and Motley Crue? One of the greatest bands of all time, the Ramones. They retired, stopped playing, said farewell, then stuck to it. Legends. Take notes, other bands.
Oh my god.
Dave, if you wanted the best, you had to get the best. And the best was Kiss. That's getting worse and worse.
I knew Paul Stanley had to make an appearance in the Ramones episode somehow.
The best
Thank you, Lisa.
stopped being the best in 1997, Paul.
They ain't got no hair on their chest.
We don't know. We've never seen them.
Oh, shit. All right.
So all four original members, the guys who played on this album, have unfortunately passed away. Joey went first in 2001 of lymphoma, Dee Dee in 2002 of heroin overdose, Johnny in 2004 of prostate cancer, and last Tommy in 2014 of bile duct cancer.
Fuck
Good.
cancer, man.
God, man. I can only imagine Lisa's notes are going to be very depressing.
Oh,
Very
you have
depressing.
no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Later band members are mostly still alive. Drummers Marky and Richie Ramone are still with us, as well as bassist CJ Ramone. Blondie drummer Clem Burke, who filled in on a few Ramones gigs as Elvis Ramone, died last year in 2025.
That's a lot of Ramones.
Blondie, great band, don't you think, Dave?
Blondie is great.
I love Blondie. I love Blondie. Not for the show.
On March 18th, 2002, the original four members and Tommy's replacement on drums, Marky Ramone, were all inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in their first year of eligibility. In 2011, the band was awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Singer Joey Ramone, before he joined the band, was the singer for a glam rock band called Sniper in New York City and went by the stage name Jeff Starship. So that's kind of weird.
That's super weird.
And there's actually footage on YouTube if you look up Sniper Joey Ramone, and it's really weird. Drummer Tommy Ramone, who had been in a high school garage rock band with guitarist Johnny, was originally going to be the Ramones' manager, but he also became the band's drummer and co-produced this album with Tony Bongiovi, who, if you didn't know, is the cousin of 80s hair metal singer John Bon Jovi.
John Bongiovi.
So don't just run right over that. So it's the name that Des couldn't pronounce is Tommy Ramone.
Yes, Tommy Ramone is Tommy Erdelai, or however the proper pronunciation is for that, and he assisted in producing this album. Since he took over a lot of the functions of managing a band and running their business after this album, he didn't really want to be there every day and playing drums and stuff. Tony Bon Jovi, Wikipedia says John's cousin. I've always heard that he was John's uncle, but who knows?
That's what I heard too, and I read that it was cousin on this album, and I thought it was his uncle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even in interviews with John, he's referred to him as his uncle, but showbiz bullshit. So, as we said, this album was the last to feature Tommy on drums. According to Wikipedia, much of this album's production was actually done by sound engineer Ed Stasium, who would go on to produce future Ramones albums. Johnny went so far as to insist that Bon Jovi was not even there during the band's recording sessions. Ed is also credited with additional guitar and backing vocals on the album.
Dave,
Huh?
I'd like to request that we just call him Bon Jovi going forward.
Sure.
Rock it up.
I don't like the way that hits my ears.
The Ramones are known for being a huge part of the 70s New York City downtown rock scene, often playing shows at Max's Kansas City and CBGB's, along with other bands in the scene like New York Dolls and Blondie. The Ramones got signed to a record deal in 1975. Unfortunately, both Max's Kansas City and CBGB are long gone. The band famously adopted a uniform of sorts, ripped jeans and sneakers with black leather motorcycle jackets.
Fucking great uniform.
Oh yeah, classic look for rockers of every stripe.
It's like the scumbags from the Warriors movie, whatever that fucking gang was.
The band's influences were 50s and 60s rock and 60s surf rock, pop music, and girl groups. Their sound and rapid fire delivery of short to the point songs were a rebellion against the state of syrupy, overblown music in the 70s. Joey once explained, in 1974, everything was 10th generation Elton John or overproduced or just junk. Everything was long jams, long guitar solos. We missed music like it used to be. Big New York honors for the Ramones. On November 30th, 2003, New York City unveiled a sign designated East 2nd Street at the corner of Bowery as Joey Ramone Place. The singer lived on East 2nd for a time, and the sign is near the former site of CBGB's, which is Bowery and Bleecker Street. Also, on October 30th, 2016, the band had a street in Queens, New York, named for them. As of that date, the intersection of 67th Avenue and 110th Street in front of the main entrance of Forest Hills High School was officially named the Ramones Way.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool.
I want that sign.
Yeah, actually, the Joey Ramone Place sign became known as like the most stolen New York street sign. So they had to wind up actually mounting it about 20 feet up on a pole, just so you had to be taller than Joey Ramone to get to it.
I used to live in New York, and I am selling an original on eBay right now.
This album was ranked at number 106 in Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time in the 2012 edition. In the 2020 edition, it was downgraded to number 385. While the album did okay overall, it didn't sell as much as hoped. Some blamed it on UK punk rivals, the Sex Pistols. Quote, the lack of record sales was largely due to fellow punk band Sex Pistols turning people off the genre with their antisocial behavior, as put by author Brian J. Bowe.
World wasn't ready.
Yeah. But your kids are going to love it.
But your kids are going to love it.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet. But your kids are going to love it.
The front cover of this album, Rocket to Russia, was shot by Danny Fields. He was the band's manager, in addition to being a big part of the New York punk rock scene. The shot was taken basically in an alley behind CBGB's. More specifically, according to the website popspotsnyc.com, quote, outside the back door CBGBs at the end of Extra Place, a small alley running north from East 1st Street between Bowery and 2nd Avenue. For you New York folks, you can go find that spot. That's actually a really cool website. The writer reveals locations of where album covers were shot in New York and sometimes matches up the album cover shot with the location. Check it out.
Cool.
And finally, according to an article on altpress.com from 2021 by Tim Stiegel, quote, Boston, Massachusetts, September 25th, 2021. The 1965 Mosrite Ventures 2 electric guitar played by Johnny Ramone on every Ramones album from 1977 onward, and at 1,985 of their live shows, sold at auction. Get ready for this, for $937,000.
Wow.
And $937,500.
Wow. That's a lot.
Not bad considering the punk guitar architect paid $200 for it after his original one he bought for $50 in the early 70s was stolen.
Wow.
So yeah, Johnny Ramone's guitar sold for almost $1 million in 2021.
I am also selling the original on my eBay.
Okay, so before we get into the guys, let's talk about 1997. This is in the way, way, way back machine.
1977.
I'm sorry,
1997? That was an
1977.
awesome year. I was racing dirt
1970
bikes.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
year.
it was a pretty good year.
Okay, but
Had a killer haircut.
1977, yeah, the way, 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 way back machine, before the internet, before streaming, before non-terrestrial radio, before MTV, this was like caveman times. Musicians had to work for their sound.
When the dinosaurs roamed.
Dude,
Exactly.
In 1977,
So
I looked exactly like Nicholas from 8 is Enough. Exactly.
Oh, God. A lot of bands were fabricating their equipment at the time because there really wasn't anything out there to buy like we have today. Much like the Industrial Noise Act I saw last weekend, author and Punisher from San Diego, who fabricates his own synth instruments. So go check
That's
that
cool.
out on my Insta. Yep, Fallen Angel, FALLENAINGEL. I have video of that on there. Super cool videos of Tristan using these crazy machines. And his setup says these machines kill fascists, which I learned was not unique to him like I thought it was, because Dave gave me a lesson. Dave, what was that lesson?
I don't remember. Woody Guthrie?
Woody Guthrie's guitar said
Yes.
this machine kills fascists. I didn't even get the reference. That's how out of it I am.
Yeah.
Yep. I had no idea.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Okay, so the Billboard charts were chock full of music that would be the cornerstone of the next few decades, like Stevie Wonder, the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, Barry Manilow, and Linda Ronstadt. The singles charts gave us Rod Stewart, Barbra Streisand, ABBA, Foreigner, who we talked about on the last episode, because I believe Jeff Pilson is in that band now.
Yep.
And Elvis. Also on the charts were one of the most horrible musicians I have ever met in my entire life, Jimmy Buffett. Yeah.
Who doesn't like a
Already time?
cheeseburger in paradise?
Right?
He is.
Fuck, man. He seems like a nice dude.
He's gone now, but I have never met a worse human being ever than him.
That's
Oh,
what we hear.
wait.
Yeah.
Worse than London Choir Boys?
Fuck you, Gary Ivan, and fuck you, Paul Guerin. But yeah, he was.
There's a story.
There's a story. If we want to slip it in here, I worked on his first website back in 1995-96. And when he came into the office to talk about the website and what he wanted it to do, it was one of the first music streaming websites ever online. He treated his young female assistant like a dog. I have never seen anything like it, and never since. He is a horrible human being, and I never
Talk about
want to
it.
deal with him again. He would just like order her around, call her names. This is in front of us. He doesn't know us. He's just met
in front
us.
of strangers.
In front of complete strangers that are like, we're, trying to do a contract with him. He was like, just, it was misogynist. It was rude. It was disgusting. I don't know. And this poor girl was almost in tears, like dealing.
Really?
He was, and I've never forgotten that moment. And every time anyone mentions him, I tell that story because he is not a good person. So he used to live in
Bitch.
Key West, right? When I lived down there, that's where this happened. And he had a restaurant called Margaritaville, which I
Oh,
think
yeah.
is kind of like everywhere now. So he was always out, greeting people, and I would always give him the finger walking by. And
Oh,
he was a piece of trash, is what he
Suck it,
was.
Buffett.
who is this goth girl that keeps
Yeah.
giving me the finger when she
Yeah,
walks by
awful,
Margaritaville?
absolutely awful human being. Okay, so for me, this year and all of the music we just talked about sounds like a big bowl of plain oatmeal.
Don't forget Kiss.
Yeah. Were they?
1977.
Were
The
they?
height of Kiss.
Was it the height of Kiss though?
Yeah.
Why weren't they on the charts?
Kiss was always at the height of Kiss, Lisa.
There you
There was
go.
no high. There
There
was
you
no
go.
low. It was
Okay.
always just the best. I just
So-
turned into Sheldon from fucking Big Bang
Yeah,
Theory.
that was rude. That was ridiculous.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the mainstream scene was filled with like disco and kind of what I call adult contemporary rock and kind of all of this stuff. But in the underground, things were very different, right?
Oh, yeah.
We had some hard rock, some metal, the beginnings of metal, punk, other genres, and all of that. They weren't charting, but they were firmly successful in the underground clubs. So London and New York were buzzing with these new sounds. The birth of genres like new wave and hip hop were happening in these clubs. Back then, you could still do something that had never been done before. You can't do that now. Everything's kind of been done. I'm waiting for somebody to do something new now, actually.
It's hard.
It's really hard. Yeah. So most importantly, Berlin, the experimental music scene was absolutely bubbling. So at the time, David Bowie was living in Berlin, right? We had the David Bowie's Berlin Trilogy, Glitter Band project. We had some pioneering electronic ambient sounds influenced by like the German Krautrock band. We had Iggy Pop in Berlin at the time, doing his avant-garde style. We had ambient techno being born in Berlin with Tangerine Dream and other acts. And the clubs in Berlin were off the charts. We had the discotheque sound with Shea Romy Hogg, a legendary glamorous transvestite club in Schönberg, frequently visited by David Bowie, by the way, and his entourage. We also had Lutzauer Lamp, a transvestite bar in Berlin that was popular with artists and celebrities, known for its cabaret-style performances. And all of this was happening, but it wasn't happening here, because here in America, we had puritanical mindsets, nonsense going on, policing of the radio waves, censorship, and all of that keeping creativity away. At this time, Ramones were getting pretty big, and they were in the underground clubs. And I guess you would call CBGB technically an underground club at the time.
Oh yeah, it was completely underground. It was
Totally.
the New York downtown punk scene. Like
It was
none
huge.
of these bands were big and famous yet.
Yeah.
In the early 70s.
Yeah.
And then by the mid 70s, they had started to get attention, get their first record deals. You
Yep.
know, the Ramones and Blondie and the Dolls. And well, the Dolls were finished by 75, but
Yeah.
you know, the whole scene was sort of exploding.
So what's most surprising to me is that we see the Ramones as iconic right now, right? That's the view that we have today.
They are now.
Yeah, but they were commercially unsuccessful during most of their active time, at least in the late 70s and very early 80s. I think by the time of this album, only one of their albums had actually gone gold. And even by the time the members started to pass away, that was still true.
Wow.
That is shocking.
That
to
is
me.
shocking.
Yeah.
I think it's a case of they get respect over album sales. Like they have a good reputation, but that didn't translate into
You know what it is?
chart success.
So they were like, we're punk, man. We like rebel against like mainstream and album sales. So all of our fans, we just want you to buy one album and then burn it to tape and just give it to your friends. And the label was like, whoa, that's not a good sales strategy.
Yeah. So, they weren't doing financially great through most of their career, which is very sad to me. But yeah. So, Dave, you mentioned this on October 22nd, 77, they had a significant amount of their equipment stolen. And that would include the original blue 1965 Moss Wright Ventures 2 guitar, which was never recovered, Can you imagine that? I wonder
crazy.
what happened to it.
Still out there. Let's
Yep.
find it.
Yeah. And that was at the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. So Johnny had to replace it with the white one, which, as you said, sold for a ton of money. The drums at the time were also stolen and replaced with a newer, larger set in white. All their instruments seemed to be white at that time, both the bass, the guitar, and the drums. Weird.
Probably just because, show up better on stage.
Yeah. These drums were featured in the Rock and Roll High School movie, as well as all of their performances and recordings until 1978. The drums were sold at auction for only $10,500.
That's
Wow,
crazy.
Bargain. So we didn't talk about Rock and Roll High School yet. So the movie
that came out after
79,
this,
yeah, but it featured, all of their classic music and
Sure.
some of the stuff from here, and obviously Rock and Roll High School song. It was Spector, right? Spector became interested in the Ramones because of this movie.
Phil Spector,
yes.
the infamous music producer.
Correct. Yes. And he would work with them through the early 80s. And there is a rumor, and I think it's been proven true, though, that he actually held a gun to Johnny's head and made him play the riffs over and over and over again until he got them right.
That sounds embellished.
There's lots of speculation and talk, about, Phil having a gun and gunplay or holding the band
Well, now
hostage.
it makes
at
sense now
gunpoint
that what we know about him.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll likely never know the actual story unless we're in the room. But
yeah,
there's lots of talk about that if you search online.
Yeah. So the Ramones performed a total of 2,263 concerts in their 22 years of nonstop touring. That's a lot, right? And they ended kind of their live lifetime in 1996 after a tour with Lollapalooza, where they played a farewell concert at the Palace in Hollywood, and then they disbanded. So let's go into the guys. Now, you guys are going to have to balance me out on this one, okay? so let's have some discussions, and you guys can balance me out. I've got my research from direct statements from the guys themselves, from interviews with them, and from statements from people who have worked with them. So you are going to have to balance this out because this
fake, all lies.
This is going to get dark. Yeah. So just a warning. If the kids are in the room, let's send them out. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Joey Ramone, as Dave said, we lost him in 2001. That's 25 years ago.
It's fucked.
Is that incredible?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the future. That was the future for me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
2001.
I know. So
at least he didn't have to see September 11th happen.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So he was obviously from New York. He has a complicated history with his health. He was born with a parasitic twin growing out of his back, which had to be removed.
Fucking guano.
Yeah. At a young age, he was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder and was institutionalized when he was 18.
Wait, Lisa, would that have been Clumpy Ramone?
Oh, God. Oh, wah, wah. Terrible. Okay. So there's a lot of speculation about this obsessive compulsive disorder and some of the behaviors that he's shown. I think had he been born later, he may have been put on the spectrum instead of having this diagnosis, and there would have been more support for him. So he was very tall, 6'6", and very thin. It was said by people around him that he might have had Marfan syndrome, which is a genetic disorder with like connective tissues that makes the sufferer have like long appendages and long limbs and can cause all sorts of other issues, especially with the heart. Joey never confirmed that he had this, so we don't really know if this is true. That is all speculation. He did, however, have poor health throughout his life. His actual brother, not the parasitic twin, but his actual brother.
His disconnected brother.
Yeah, his real brother. Mitchell Lee Hyman, known professionally as Mickey Lee, is also a singer as well as a guitar player and a songwriter. And we'll talk about him in a little bit.
You going to talk about the book?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he started playing drums at 14. This is Joey. And in 1972, you mentioned he was in a glam band called the Sniper. This band played with the New York Dolls, Suicide, Queen Elizabeth III. If you don't know the band, I shouldn't call it a band, the project Queen Elizabeth III, that's Jane County. Do you know who Jane County is?
Wayne Jane County.
That's right.
And the
That's
electric
right.
chairs.
Correct.
Way to go,
I
Dave.
sure do.
Punk icon, actor, singer, songwriter. You need to look her up if you don't know who she is.
Yep.
She is amazing. In Sniper, as you said, Joey went by Jeff Starship. Was that before Jefferson Starship or after?
I did a little reading, and I guess in 1970, according to one of the comments I saw, the first Jefferson Starship album came out. So it probably was a takeoff
It had to have been.
of the band name.
Yeah. He always did a lot of those like quirky, like bend pop culture. Yeah. So, okay. So he is obviously one of the founding members of the Ramones in 1974. And I was really hoping for some big creative story about how the name came about. And you had said that Dee Dee got the name from Paul McCartney. And Dee Dee said, "Hey, this is my stage name right now." And they all just went, "Okay, that's all our names now." Like,
great.
really? That's all it is?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. So,
It's like a gang.
yeah. Originally,
Yeah.
Joey played the drums in the Ramones. He switched to singing when it was found that Dee Dee couldn't handle singing more than a few songs at a time. It was a strain on his voice. There's a nice quote from Joey's brother, Mickey Mitchell, about when he discovered Joey had switched to vocals. And this is Mitchell saying, "I was shocked when the band came out. Joey was the lead singer, and I couldn't believe how good he was because he'd been sitting in my house with my acoustic guitar, writing these songs like I don't care, fucking up my guitar, and suddenly he's the guy on stage who you can't take your eyes off of." During the Ramones, Joey also had a side project. He sang backing vocals in a band called the Seclusions. This was a post-punk band. He sang on a cover of a song called Nothing Can Change. Nothing Can Change the Shape of Things to Come. Also on that track was Demi Destri from Blondie. Yep. Jimmy Rip, who has played with tons of people, including Debbie Harry and Michael Monroe and Busta Jones of the Talking Heads. In 1985, he appeared on the Artists United Against Apartheid activist group's performance against the Sun City Resort in South Africa. He performed alongside Dylan, Springsteen, Run DMC, and many more.
Little Steven.
Yep.
From the E Street Band.
That's correct. Yep.
Ain't gonna play Sun City.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, Sun City was a resort in South Africa where they did not allow Black people to come to.
Yeah, it was under apartheid South Africa, and it was basically a protest under there that these entertainers said we're not going to play this place because of your racist policies.
Yeah, yuck. He made a lot of other appearances, including when he headlined Rock the Reservation, an alternative rock festival in Tuba City, Arizona, as Joey Ramone and the Resistance. He also managed and produced punk bands. A punk band called The Independents before his death. In his very last recording, it was a backup vocal slot for the Navajo punk band called Blackfire on their album One Nation Under. Great album, by the way. Super cool band. Definitely go check them out. That was Blackfire. In 1999, he produced Ronnie Spector's EP, She Talks to Angels. This is Ronnie of the Ronettes. Is it? I thought it was Angels.
No.
Oh, I must have wrote it down wrong. Yeah. Well, I know it's the Black Crowes, but yeah. So this is Ronnie of the Ronettes.
Yes.
Yes. And the Ronettes being a big influence on the Ramones originally.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that a little bit.
Yeah. In his personal life, there was a really crazy story. So here we go. Hold on to your hats.
Oh, boy.
In the 1970s, he dated a woman named Linda for quite some time. There are conflicting stories about what exactly happened, but apparently she had met Johnny Ramone and had started some level of a relationship with him while still with Joey. Even after getting engaged to Joey, she was cheating on Joey with Johnny, two guys in the same band. Horrible. Yeah, Joey didn't know apparently for some time. Horrible. Their relationship was called by the press one of the most controversial love triangles in rock. This would spark a lifelong strained relationship between Joey and Johnny and cause massive problems in the band. Despite this, they continued to work together and tour together for a very long time. Joey had a lot of issues, struggles with alcohol and addiction as well, his mental health issues as well. And Johnny, who was straight and neurotypical, viewed Joey's issues as a personal weakness and would actually use this against him in their arguments. Johnny is said to have been a bully and an authoritarian in the band, but let's be fair here. They needed someone to organize them, and keep it together while everyone else was drunk and on drugs. Somebody had to be steering the ship, right? I get it, but he didn't have to be cruel about it, which is what a lot of people complain about him. Joey was very vocally, politically liberal and supported many causes against racism and censorship. His political beliefs were the exact opposite of Johnny's, who was characterized as right-wing. But let's be clear, political differences back in the 70s is much different than what we have as political differences today. So they were able to still continue to work together, but this did cause even more conflict between the two of them. It's reported that they didn't even speak to each other for years, despite continuing to play and tour together. Johnny did not even speak to Joey leading up to his death. So the song KKK Took My Baby Away is reported to be about Johnny stealing Joey's fiancée. My favorite Joey moment has to be his appearance on the Drew Carey Show. And if you haven't seen this, you need to go look it up on YouTube, where he auditions for a band that the Drew Carey guys are forming alongside Slash, Rick Nielsen, Dave Mustaine, Dusty Hill, and Joe Walsh. Most of the guys are dismissed for being too good. They were saying that, oh, they'll make us look bad. They're too good. Joey plays some messy riffs, smashes his guitar, and is dismissed because they already have a tall, skinny guy who is actor Ryan Stiles of Whose Line Is It Anyway and 2.5 Men fame, who is the same height as Joey at 6'6". Joe Walsh is ultimately chosen because he was sloppy and slow. In 1988, he did a very rare interview where he spoke about about the influence the Ramones have on other bands. The Ramones, and this is 88 we're talking about, the Ramones, who started 15 years ago and everybody has taken a piece of, basically, our fundamental song as their basics, whether it be heavy metal or the new resurgence of metal or bands like the Sex Pistols or Metallica or Anthrax or whoever, Poison, the Pretenders, whoever, everyone took our sound and used it as their basis, almost like an artist for the first step on a canvas putting down that basic layer. It's exciting and it's great. So it's funny because he sounded angry about it when he started this statement, but he actually likes that. Yeah. So, yeah. He admitted that the Ramones was a hybrid band also. We've been influenced by millions and millions of other bands. But what we did, the way I see it, was like we absorbed that stuff. We stored it in our head. The output is our own distinct brand of music. The idea is not to let it be known what your influences were. It's just to put something out that's you and doesn't sound like somebody else. It's easier, I think, to do something new back then, which I had said earlier. A lot of things still hadn't been done at that time. And on the music of the 80s, this is what Joey said: we're commercial without trying to be commercial. If you look at the music of the 60s, it was all great music and all the songs were great and all the artists were unique and innovative. And great for the most part. And nowadays, it's nothing like that. Everyone's like White Lion and Poison and Bon Jovi and all that shit for the most part. So I guess that's what he thought about modern glam music.
That's funny.
Yeah. He later commented on their rivalry with the UK band the Sex Pistols, saying that they, the Ramones, had 3 albums before the Sex Pistols even came out with one, and said the Sex Pistols always wanted to fight them. So when Johnny Rotten showed up at their show in New York, they pissed in the beer and gave it to him and said he didn't even notice, likely because the beer in the UK is terrible. Back to his health. In 1995, he was diagnosed with lymphoma. He would keep this diagnosis secret until just shortly before his death. In 2000, he fell and broke his hip, which is said to have caused him to deteriorate quickly. He was only 49 when he died. When he died, he was listening to the U2 song In a Little While. Some of the surviving Ramones, Joan Jett and Debbie Harry of Blondie, and Chris Stein attended his funeral. After his death in 2002, his first solo album was released called Don't Worry About Me. The tributes after his death covered all styles of rock and roll. The Ramones were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2002. In 2003, as you said, a block of New York was renamed, and it is the most stolen sign in New York. Joey's brother wrote the book, I Slept with Joey Ramone, a family memoir, which was released in 2009. In 2012, his second solo album was released called You Know. In 2021, a documentary movie was planned about Joey's life entitled I Slept with Joey Ramone, which was after his brother's book. Netflix to this day is still fighting with the estate over the rights agreements. Apparently, Linda Ramone, now wife of Johnny, or widow of Johnny, but then became wife of Johnny, sued to block the film's production. After cheating on him, yeah, really great. So the film has been delayed. Pete Davidson is slated to play Joey. Just last month, it was announced that Linda Ramone has purchased Joey's brother, Mitchell's, Mikey Lee's 50% stake in the Ramones' intellectual property and music, which means that she now owns all of it. In my opinion, the family memoir that his brother wrote should have been allowed to be told without intervention from anyone else. All of the other Ramones have gone to tell their story. I don't know why this one was different. What's going to happen now? Likely, is she just going to claim that it's her work and take credit for it and certainly make all the money off of it, which seems shady to me.
Don't sue us.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. Overall, there's been a lot of tributes and accolades towards Joey after his death. This has said to anger Johnny greatly. Joey was pretty well loved, basically by the media, by his friends, by his scene, by his fans. That's what Johnny wanted, and that is not what Johnny has. After Joey's death, Johnny tried to create this for himself by suddenly making these types of contacts, but most people saw through him as trying to kind of recreate what Joey had. Just before we jump into Johnny, I'm just going to give a shared fact about Joey and Johnny, that when the band disbanded in 1996, Joey and Johnny were the only two original members that stayed the entire length of the band's existence.
Wow.
So that's Joey. Okay, this one's going to get kind of hard. Johnny Ramone, as Dave said, passed in 2004 and was from New York and was an only child. He has often himself spoken about his authoritarian father who valued work ethic more than anything. He would force Johnny to work or to play sports, and he happened to have been an avid and talented baseball pitcher. So he would force Johnny to either work or play sports despite injury or illness or anything. This might be important for what we would see from Johnny in the future. In high school, he had a band called Tangerine Puppets, which also featured Tommy Ramone. He was a greaser, and we all know what a greaser is from the movie Grease. Leather jackets, jeans, matching hairstyles. It was a pompadour for the greasers, though, not the bowl cut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
And from the outsiders.
And from the outsiders. Oh, good call. Yeah,
Perfect.
good call.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Soda Pop.
Yeah. He also called himself a delinquent. He used to rob people for money and alcohol. Nice. He claims he cleaned himself up at the age of 20, got sober, and became a law-abiding person. He attended Peekskill Military Academy in Peekskill, New York, which may explain some things about his personality, and he worked as a plumber before the Ramones gained fame. He met the guys in Forest Hills, New York, which is kind of where they all lived, while he was delivering dry cleaning. Together, they went to Manny's Music in New York in January 1974. That's when he bought that used Blue Mossrite Ventures 2 guitar for $54, which translates to $353.
Nice.
Yeah.
48th Street, New
Yeah.
York City.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. Johnny, again, would begin to date Linda Danielle, who at the time was Joey's girlfriend. Yuck. He's a guy who disliked guitar solos, and he played a downstroke rhythm, which he attributed to Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, who had that same style.
Not as harshly and militant as
Right.
as Johnny, but basically, like, if you're strumming a guitar, you can either strum, down towards the floor or up towards yourself.
Yep.
And most people strum back and forth, but the downstroke thing is just all
It's
down,
aggressive, right?
aggressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
think James Hetfield.
Well,
He's known for that too.
and I was just going to mention him. So in 2009, Johnny Ramone appeared on Time's list of the 10 greatest electric guitar players. He ranked number 8. Now, I don't know how that happened, because that kind of blows my mind a bit. He also ranked number 28 on Rolling Stone's similar 2015. How is a rhythm guitarist like this getting on these rock lists?
I think that's more a function of the band and songwriting, and the fact that he was sort of his style was kind of unique, as opposed to just playing like everybody else.
Well, some guitarists have actually said that they can't play like him because his simplistic style is actually difficult to play.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's sort of like running a marathon. If you're going to play those chords the same way he does in time for
2 hours,
2 minutes straight at for each song, you can't do it. You can't keep up.
I don't know. I don't know. If you can't play these songs, maybe try a different instrument.
Yeah. So guitarists who have claimed him as their influence include, not surprisingly, James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett, both of Metallica, Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, and Scott Ian of Anthrax. I think all of that checks out to me.
Sure.
Thrash metal guys.
Yeah.
Speedy.
Yeah. In 1983, Johnny was severely injured in a fight with Seth Macklin of the band The Sub-Zeros, Sub-Zero Construction. He was saved by emergency brain surgery.
Holy
and according
shit.
to a reporter at the time, got better fast. He plays the same, but his hair is a little shorter.
They beat the bag out of him, huh?
They did. It was really bad. Yeah.
Wow.
And he almost didn't make it, is the reports. So he would appear in more than a dozen movies and appear in tons of TV shows, including The Simpsons. Johnny was extremely vocal, like Joey was, about his political beliefs. His happened to be extreme conservatism.
The opposite side of Joey.
The opposite. In fact, they caused issues in the band and in the business. In 1985, Joey Ramone, Dee Dee Ramone, and John Bavois composed the song Bonzo Goes to Bitburg for the Ramones, which criticized President Ronald Reagan's controversial visit to a German military cemetery. The song was rush released as a single in the UK, but the song was retitled My Brain is Hanging Upside Down for the US when it appeared on the on the album Animal Boy in 1986. Johnny later would say, "They couldn't talk about my favorite president like that, so we agreed to use another title." Yeah. He even called out George Bush's name when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. He claimed, wrongly, that punk music was right-wing. And now, yes, you can see that there was a small offshoot of punk, which is right wing, separated from the main movement and is filled with white supremacists. Yes, we do see that. But literally, the core of the punk movement is anti-establishment, and it didn't originate in the U.S. I think it's important to note that politics, again, was very different when Johnny was alive. Parties do not look like they do today, but it's still shocking to find out that he was a hateful person and that so many people who knew him had truly awful things to say about him. I've never studied the Ramones too deeply myself, and I always thought of them as true punks, anti-establishment, and foundational artists for fighting for the outcast and the mistreated, which is what punk is for. But this research has completely changed my mind. If anything, it's at least clear that he kept the band on track, and for many around the band say that he's the one that created the financial stability that they did eventually get. They didn't have in the beginning. They made very little money for a long time. He treated music like a business, which, yes, you need that. And we have seen that before. I believe in our last episode, we saw that with John Dawkins. And this can and does end up with bad feelings and even worse remembrances from acquaintances. A quote from C.J. Ramone about Johnny. After I got into the band, preparing for records, the way it went is pretty much that Dee Dee would submit his songs, Joey would submit his, and later Marky would submit his. And even for the Acid Eaters record, all of the songs would come to me. This is CJ speaking. And it would be my responsibility to learn the songs and then teach them to Johnny at rehearsals. I had to learn all the vocal lines because Joey didn't come to rehearsals, so I'd have to sing all the songs for him. So creatively, I guess Johnny didn't have a lot of input into the band. Unfortunately, there are accounts from his friends of him making racist and anti-Semitic statements, including in Monty Melnick's book, On the Road with the Ramones. I'm not going to go much deeper into this. You can go and do your own research. The research actually made me a little sick. He very much controlled the narrative of the movie End of the Century, the story of the Ramones, by making sure that he was seen in a certain light and in a certain way, no matter what the actual truth was from the other members, particularly Joey, who had passed, and of whom he was very jealous. It's funny because all of the guys present themselves as a band. No, not one more important than the other. And even Tommy, who was like the producer and the manager, who has made statements, that they were just a band. Johnny never comes across like this and often tries to control the narrative while the other members, seem to just be genuine people. Tommy would later say about Johnny that he had to be king. As far as Johnny's concerned, there's only one top man, so I think that's where the conflict between them started and escalated over the years. Joey and Johnny never reconciled before Joey's death. In fact, Johnny said he refused to call him and stated that a reunion would be futile. After Joey's death, he was very depressed and feeling that the Ramones were done at that point, and that his partner was gone, which is a strange reaction to somebody who was so hateful.
Yeah.
Johnny died in 2004 after a 5-year battle with prostate cancer. He was only 55. Shortly before his death.
Wow, that's young.
Yeah. It's young, yeah. Shortly before his death, Arturo Vega, who we will talk about in a moment, he was the band's artist, suggested a monument to Johnny, which, of course, Johnny agreed, because, oh my God, a monument to me. This monument is at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, but his ashes are in the possession of his widow, Linda. He is not buried at the cemetery. The statue was designed by Wayne Toth and paid for by a gift from Rob Zombie. It was dedicated a year after his death. Many people spoke at the funeral, including Nicolas Cage, Eddie Vedder, Seymour Stein, who we will talk a little bit more about in a moment, and John Furstein from Chili Peppers. Linda, his widow, remains in control of the estate, and we now, as we mentioned before, owns the entirety of the Ramones catalog.
Pretty depressing.
Yeah, that was difficult.
Yeah, apparently he ran the band like a military outfit, and I don't want to know too much about these guys personally because
you're ruining the fucking Ramones for me right now.
He doesn't sound like the nicest guy, but
I've been trying to zone out. Like I always just kind of remember them like the Monkees, or
that's how I remember
like
them.
The Mesquite. Like that's how I want to remember them.
Don't look too deep.
Bad. They've all got cancer. They hate each other. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Yeah, I actually got a little sick researching him. So, okay, Dee Dee Ramone. Happier topic. Bass player and backing vocals. Okay, maybe not happier topic, but at least a more genuine guy.
Not really the way to
Here we go.
Yeah. As we said, we lost Dee Dee in 2002 at the young age of just 50 to an overdose of heroin. Honestly, as far as heroin goes, 50 is kind of a long life. So, maybe we got him for a good amount of time.
That's a veteran junkie.
Yeah.
Nice.
His parents were a German woman and an American soldier who met during his service. He would live in Berlin until he was 15, when he relocated to New York with his mom and sister. They were apparently fleeing his father, the soldier, who was an alcoholic and an abuser. He would then meet Johnny and Tommy, who were in the band Tangerine Puppets at the time. The guys bonded on being kind of social outcasts. He started using drugs at a very young age and would remain an addict his entire life. Fun fact about Dee Dee, he was Bette Midler's hairdressers for many years during her theater runs.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah. We mentioned Dee Dee was one of the founding members already and was originally the lead singer and guitar player, was it? And then he was also the Ramones' most prolific lyricist and composer, writing many of their best-known songs, such as 53rd and 3rd, Chinese Rock, Commando, Warthog, Rockaway Beach, Poison Heart, and Bonzo Goes to Bitburg. It's an interesting fact about Chinese Rock. This was a song about the day-to-day struggle of a heroin addict. It was originally recorded by the band The Heartbreakers because Johnny didn't want to do a song about drugs.
Yeah.
This is uplifting.
Yeah. Dee Dee Ramone worked as a male sex worker in New York during the early 1970s to fund his heroin addiction. He frequented 53rd Street and 3rd Avenue. That's where that song 53rd and 3rd comes from. This is not speculation. He has admitted to this and actually talked about it frequently.
Yeah,
So-
that was apparently like a famous spot to pick up boy gigolos.
So
That's correct.
he was blowing guys for heroin.
Yes.
This is
Basically.
uplifting. I feel very good. You're right. It's really nice.
But he's been very public about this. This isn't me like telling some story.
I never
that
knew about
nobody
it.
knows. So,
These are not secrets.
yeah.
I never knew about it. I don't want to know about it.
So he also wrote the song Warthog, which is the namesake of a band belonging to our friend, right?
Yeah,
Bella?
by Michael Belafonte. But Warthog
Belafonte?
is really
Yep.
what he got from doing gay stuff down in the fucking
Well, Warthog was a song written in rehab, right?
about his
So-
wee
Yeah. So Warthog, our local Ramones tribute band, you can find them on YouTube. They are absolutely fantastic. Bella, hello, you're a great guy. Speaking of writing songs, on the liner notes of the band's 12th studio album, Mondo Bizarro, there is a liner note that says that the Ramones bailed Dee Dee out of jail in exchange for his rights to the Ramones songs.
Oh, what a deal. Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Johnny Ramone deal.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Bon Jovi deal.
Yeah.
Skid Row.
The band's final studio album in 1995 contained several of Dee Dee's solo songs, which first appeared on his solo albums. We'll talk about the solo albums in a second. He switched to bass when the original bassist, Richie Stern, and I don't want to call him original bassist because they tried him out. It didn't work. Dee Dee switched over to bass after giving up singing to play bass. So on the side, Dee Dee worked at an advertising company. This is where he met Arturo Vega, who we mentioned a minute ago about Johnny's monument at Hollywood Forever. Arturo Vega would become the artistic director of the Ramones. He designed their logo and worked on the lights and other creative elements of their live shows. He was often called the Fifth Ramone. The Beatles had a fifth Beatle, didn't they? Yeah. Okay. So Fifth Ramone. And there was somebody else who was called the Fifth Ramone. Dave, you know who that is?
No.
Oh,
Howard
Riff
Stern?
Raff. No, Riff.
Oh, Riff
Randall. Yes, from we watched it last night. Rock and Roll High School. Yeah, they called her the Fifth Ramone. So there's lots of Fifth Ramones, I guess.
Actress, I forget her real name.
PJ
Souls.
PJ Souls. Yes. Yep. Also played Miss Purr in Jawbreaker, by the way. Fun fact.
Okay. Yeah, she was in Halloween. She's been
She
in
was,
a lot
yeah.
of
Yeah.
horror movies.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, back to Dee Dee, or back to Arturo. So Arturo designed the logo based on the presidential seal. In 2008, he would go to Berlin to start the Ramones Museum, which still exists today. Unfortunately, Vega died of cancer in 2013 at the age of 65. Fuck cancer taking all these guys out. My God.
Takes everybody out. Sucks.
Yeah. So Dee Dee left the Ramones in 1989 and had a short career as rapper Dee Dee King, releasing an album, Standing in the Spotlight, that same year. So I took one for the team and went and listened to this album,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
and I saved all of you the time.
Oh, no.
It was not great. Think 1950s bebop music mixed with rap. Some of the songs sounded like metal drums mixed with rap. Like he might have been a fan of the Beastie Boys, not that like he got to that level, but I'm using the term rap really loosely here. It was more a spoken word album where he was just like reading off of paper some lyrics and there was beats going on in the back. Critics would go on to call this album the worst album of all time. Fun fact about that time period, Dee Dee hated being in the Ramones at this point. In his memoir, he equated it to being in a fascist organization. The uniform was a straitjacket to him. He hated the ripped jeans, he hated the jacket, and he hated the stupid bull haircut. He hated how controlling Johnny was. In fact, he would rebel and come to the rehearsals in tracksuits and gold chains, cosplaying a rapper to show his distaste.
Right.
He also had an unfortunate attraction to Nazi symbols, he would sport like a Hitler mustache and swastika armbands to shock the band members into realizing how Johnny was treating the band.
So is that where the guitar player from Gigi Allen, Gigi's brother, got his look?
Maybe.
It sounds very similar.
Yeah. He had a short-lived project called Sprocket with one of the guys from D-Generation.
Sprocket.
Yeah.
That's the monkey.
Now's the time on Sprocket for me, die!
I am Dita.
So D-Generation, a New York glam punk band that you might have heard of.
That's right.
Yep. His solo project, The Spiky Tops, was also around this time. Some of the music would eventually be re-recorded as Ramones songs. He spent some time in a band called the Murder Junkies. This is Gigi Allen's band, where he played guitar.
There you go. I guess we just figured that out.
Yeah. He appears briefly in the documentary about this band. The documentary's name is Hated, Gigi Allen and the Murder Junkies, where he expresses he didn't even know what the name of the band was. Didi Ramone and the Chinese Dragons, which was another project, didn't do much. And then he had Didi Ramone ICLC, which stood for Inner Celestial Light Commune, which actually did pretty good and lasted until 1996. He had met one of the members of the hardcore band Misguided at an AA meeting to form this project. They would have one studio album entitled I Hate Freaks, as well as an EP entitled Chinese Bitch. Yeah.
That Gigi Allen documentary is a must watch.
It is good. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Gives you the big ending, the whole thing. It's fucking, it's very satisfying if you're looking to feel like shit.
Yeah. He had a few more solo albums, one called Zonked, which included Marky Ramone, and a female vocalist who at the time, Barbara, more on her later, and another called Hop Around. He had a really interesting project in the early 2000s for a short time that included Paul Kotsabi, guitarist for White Zombie and Youth Gone Mad. He was also an artist, and he is credited for Paul Kostabi, who is the White Zombie guitarist, is credited with getting Didi's painting career underway. Didi's paintings have sold very well. At the time when he was painting them, he would sell them for a few $100s, and he thought, wow, this is great. Nowadays, you can find them in galleries for around $12,000.
Awesome.
There's 3 currently on sale in bulk, and the bid is hovering around $60,000 for the 3. After touring a bit with Barbara, this was with the band. Do you know the band Sexy Christ?
No.
No.
Oh, fun band. The lead singer, the front man of Sexy Christ, is a porn star named Kurt Lockwood. You got to go check them out. They're a riot. So he was touring around with this band, and he in his band was Anthony Martisi from Stone Sour. So during this time, he was kind of getting closer and closer to Barbara, who eventually will be known as Barbara Ramone. His autobiography, My Right to Survive, was re-released as Legend of a Rock Star, a memoir, and I don't think he liked that name change very much. His novel, he had a novel. Did you know he wrote a novel?
No.
Yeah, Chelsea Horror Hotel. Relates
I heard of that.
Yeah, relates a story in which he and his wife move into New York City's famous Hotel Chelsea, and are staying in the same room where Sid Vicious allegedly killed his girlfriend, Nancy Spungen.
Yep.
He's visited by Vicious, as well as other dead punk rock friends such as Johnny Thunders, Stiv Bators, and Jerry Nolan.
That's cool.
Fun book. Didi was married to his wife, Vera Boldis, from 1978 until 1994. His addiction and mental health struggles are said to have destroyed the marriage. Go back and look at some of the pictures of him with his wife, Vera. She is super cool and super stylish and super fun. And there are tons of photos available of them together, even ones in the Ramones Museum currently. And they just look like the coolest punk rock couple you could imagine. So on the divorce from Vera, he knocked on Didi's door and he was handed the papers to sign. He signed the papers thinking he was signing an autograph for a fan.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Was he messed up?
Yeah. So there's a very famous photograph of him standing on a balcony in New York. It's like one of the most famous Didi photographs of all time. That photograph was taken just after he had signed those papers. So
That's crazy.
yeah, the photographer Keith Green just happened to be in the hotel room at the time. It was told by Keith, the photographer, some years later that Didi went ballistic after he realized what he had just signed.
Fucking dummy.
Yeah. In 1994, before the divorce was final, but well after he and Vera had separated, he had started seeing, as I mentioned, Barbara, who he was playing with in various projects that were kind of touring around. He had met her as a fan. She was kind of like hanging around the hotel, and he met her outside. She was 16 years old at the time. He would have been 43. Yeah.
Oh,
Whoops.
nice.
Yeah, and they started a relationship and would play music together. They eventually married, and they were together until his death. Dee Dee is reported to have been a conservative. This doesn't fit for me as much, though, because a lot of his writing was very anti-establishment, and of course, he spent time as a male prostitute. Seymour Stein, the music mogul, who we mentioned was actually at some of the funerals, he owned a record label. And he was a big kind of music mogul guy. He wrote in his memoir that he had an encounter with Dee Dee. Dee Dee came to his New York apartment, stripped naked, and offered himself to Stein. Stein declined.
So we've wandered down a weird
Yeah.
path here. Stop.
Yeah.
I want to like the Ramones. Stop.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that how you're supposed to do it?
Yeah.
I've been doing it all wrong all these years.
Yeah.
Me and
Stein
Dave were
did-
going to give this a huge score. Now at the end, we're all just going to be like, fuck the Ramones. Sucks.
Yeah.
0.
So Stein declined the offer by faking a call from his wife. Stein, however, has been very open about being bisexual, gay, and has had relationships with several men before, and that may have been what Dee Dee was kind of trying to hook onto.
It was the haircut. He's like, sorry, dude. I just can't do it with those bangs.
Get past the bowl hair.
Yeah.
Gonna pass.
So Dee Dee never actually classified himself as gay. And we have to understand at the time the ultra conservative kind of homophobic mindset of the country. And even inside of punk music, there was kind of a homophobic undertone at the time. It would have kept him from saying anything officially anyway.
Right.
And politics were very different. It was easier back then to be a centrist on either side, maybe a libertarian, if you will. So take anything you read on that with a grain of salt.
But
and
you'll
don't-
remember that the Sex Pistols to get signed, they sent Nancy in. She was like, you want me
Yeah.
to blow ya?
Exactly.
The Ramones
Yeah.
sent in a Ramon. And he
Yes.
was like, you want me to blow ya? So
Yeah.
I think we're cracking the egg here. We know what's going on.
Yeah. So unfortunately, he was found dead at his home in June of 2002. He is the only Ramone that did not die of cancer. According to Wikipedia, Dee Dee is buried at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Hollywood, California, not far away from the bronze memorial to Johnny. His headstone features the Ramones seal with the line, "I feel so safe flying on the ray of the highest trails above," taken from his song Highest Trails Above. From the Subterranean Jungle album. At the stone's base is the line, "Okay, I gotta go now." Every day, a large group of Ramones ducks march up the hill to Dee Dee's grave. In 2002, just a fun fact about Dee Dee so we don't end on a down note, when the Ramones were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, shortly after Joey's death, Dee Dee would congratulate himself. So cute.
Little too late not to end on a down note. That was all
Yeah, sorry.
extremely depressing.
Isn't this
Shit.
this was the weirdest research I've ever done. It was
Yeah, that
very
was-
disturbing and
It's
a
like
little
I feel like we have all read the Ramones
Yeah.
biography, and it's just horrible.
Yeah, Dee Dee seemed like a sweet and genuine guy though that just had a drug problem and
Yeah.
generally speaking was he
Messy.
had a heart. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, into Tommy. We lost Tommy in 2014. He was the drummer who took over after Joey moved to vocals, and he left the band in 1978, but still served as producer and did some other things with the band for a time after. He has survived longer than any other original member. He was born in Budapest. His parents were Holocaust survivors who were hidden by their neighbors. Many of his relatives, unfortunately, did die in the Holocaust. He came to the U.S., New York specifically, at the age of 8. In the 60s, he played guitar in a band called Tangerine Puppets with Johnny, as we mentioned before. He got a job at the record plant as an engineer and worked on the Hendrix album Band of Gypsies. He originally intended to be the manager and producer for the Ramones only, but was basically assigned the drum duties, even though he had never played drums before when Joey switched to vocals.
Hmm.
He left the band after a performance in 1978 at CBGB's, which was a benefit show for Johnny Blitz of the Dead Boys. He would continue to manage the band and at times produce their music. He was replaced by Marky Ramone. Marky would eventually be asked to leave the band in 1983 due to his drinking problem. Tommy Ramone wrote I Want to Be Your Boyfriend and the majority of Blitzkrieg Bop. Fun fact, he and guitarist Ed Stasium played all the solos on the albums he produced for the band because Johnny only played rhythm. He would continue to produce albums for bands like The Replacements, The Rattlers, and Red Cross. In 2004, he reunited with the Ramones, well, what was left of the Ramones at that point, to do a cancer benefit, also paying tribute to his fallen bandmates. There seemed to be a lot of animosity in the band against Tommy's lead position. In the documentary End of the Century, The Story of the Ramones from 2003, an interviewer said to him, I was astonished to hear the other Ramones say that they thought you had nothing to do with the sound of the band. It struck me as a really odd thing to come out. I was wondering what you thought of that and how you felt about it and where you think that came from. And Tommy responds, the problem was they were always afraid that if I got any credit, I would get all the credit, which is ridiculous because all four of us contributed equally. They had no need to fear that I would get all the credit. I think that's what they were afraid of, and it's absurd. We all contributed our thing, and all of our contributions were equally important, including mine. See, this is the answer of a true band member. Right?
Yeah, but Lisa, every single week it's the same thing, isn't
Yeah,
it? Isn't it?
Yeah, this needs to stop.
It's been going on for millennia.
Yeah. Yep. He thinks that the Everett True book that had just come out at the time would have upset the guys in the band, including Dee Dee. And he said even Dee Dee was always uptight about that stuff anyway. The movie, in fact, End of the Century, was very hostile. Johnny was apparently the main force behind the movie, and his anger and insecurity really come through in all the scenes. In 2005, Tommy did an interview alongside Marky Ramone where he talked about how he was looking for a drummer like Joey to replace Joey. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it because when we were trying out drummers, they were all playing basically heavy metal, Carmen Appice, John Bonham style, which every rock drummer was doing at the time, and it just didn't fit the music. So eventually the guys teased me into playing the drums. Basically, I had to create a drum sound that I heard in my head to fit the music. But actually, as soon as I started playing drums, it really clicked. In 2006, he joined Claudio Tienin of the Simplistics in a project called Uncle Monk, which was a bluegrass folk rock band. And unfortunately, Tommy would suffer from bile duct cancer. He did attempt treatment. It did not succeed, and he passed in 2014 at the age of 65. In Variety, Christopher Morris said, Tommy's driving high-energy drum work was the turbine that powered the leather-clad foursome's loud, antic sound. There you have it.
Good player.
One of the most disturbing sets of research I have presented to you.
It was. So while you were going through those, we were talking about that stolen guitar, right?
Yeah.
And it triggered a little family story of mine. I think I told you guys about it once, but it's really interesting and I want to share it with our listeners. So my father was a guitar player and is a guitar player and did very well for himself. And before I tell the story, because I don't want people to be like, yeah, bullshit, it's just some, credentials. Like if you watch the Doors documentary, When You're Strange, Jim Morrison will point backstage and you'll see my father's band back there because they were opening for the Doors that night. And if you get the Bruce Springsteen autobiography, Bruce has dedicated a whole page to my father and how he would go and watch him play down at the Cafe Wa. So father was, he was around back in the time. And he was in a few bands that were signed, but one in particular called Holy Moses that was signed to RCA Records and managed by Jimi Hendrix's manager, Michael Jeffries. And probably just months after Jimmy died, my dad's band, Holy Moses, went into Electric Ladyland Studios to record their album. And Michael Jeffries gifted my father one of Jimmy's personal white Fender Stratocasters, one that had been
Jeez.
used in, it had been used in studio recordings, used live. It was a white Fender Strat, and it was given to him personally by Michael Jeffries. And the guitar was stolen while my father was on the road, along with a really nice triple pickup black Les Paul. And if you go online, like there's like actual like threads of people talking about this guitar, what happened to it, what was the story. I mean, Michael Jeffries has talked about it like it's a famous guitar. It would be worth probably well over $1 million now. And my father, to this day, God bless his soul, I mean, he's basically in a nursing home now. He's still, to this day, when I talk about him, Jesse, that goddamn guitar, like it's just one of those things, a family legacy. And I went on one of these like Reddit sites about it maybe a week ago, and they were, people were talking about, what happened to the guitar, blah, blah, blah. I know what happened to the guitar. My father has told me the story, and I know where this guitar is like 95%. But I've been asked not to share my personal Columbo findings on this case publicly, but I know where this guitar is, and shame on you. You know who you have it. So yeah, interesting stuff though. If you're interested in this story, you can find more on it. But that's just one I wanted to share with you guys because my dad was my inspiration for becoming a guitar player, I guess. So good stuff there. Dave, I was listening to Slipping Away, 6s, 7s, and 9s yesterday. I was listening to the whole album, and Slipping Away came on. I was in the living room and just singing along with it, Slipping Away. Dylan came out. I was feeling melancholy, maybe a tear in my eye, maybe not. And it made me think about how you didn't really care for that song when we did the review. And then it made me start thinking about songs. And I said, the song is a song, like it's the song. So if I listen to it, it makes me feel one way and I hear the song one way. When Dave listens to it, he hears the song another way and it's a different song. So does the song change, or does the song only change when it's listened to? It's deep. It's deep, man.
That's
deep.
trippy.
It's very trippy.
Yeah, that's all art, right?
It's so cool, man. It just really got me thinking. I'm like, it's the same song, but like we both hear it so differently. And that is so cool to me. So
you can do that with paintings. You can do that with sculpture.
Yeah, any piece of art.
Yeah. It's really cool. All right. You know what? The facts went a long time. I drank the entire fucking edible Frank Stallone drink.
Oh, boy.
I'm feeling fucking damn. There's like purple haze going on. Like, let me hit the boomstick and let's get into this thing. Okay. You guys ready to do some opening thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, of course, I burned this album out as older teenager into my 20s and 30s. I played the fuck out of this album. And I want to submit that without the Ramones and their leather denim style and their matching black haircuts, we don't get some of our favorite sleaze bands of the 80s or the 90s. Even though the music might not be a heavy influence to these bands like LA Guns, I do feel like this overall image was definitely a setup for the fucking 80s, 90s metal we were going to get. And they also influenced some of my favorite punk bands like Agent Orange. I mean, I love these bands. When I was racing dirt bikes, these were the bands I was listening to, and they come directly from the Ramones. I mean, I know they have other influences, but this is a big one. So for my, so I think this is an important album. I do. Kind of think this goes back to like that Too Fast for Love type thing. It's one of the big landmarks.
Yes, I have heard this album before. I didn't get this specific one until much later, but I became a Ramones fan when I was around 17. I worked in this t-shirt / gift shop, kind of like a Spencer's, in the Menlo Park Mall in New Jersey. By the way, basically across the street from Vintage Vinyl. Thank you. And there was a tape deck there at work that we would play in-store music with. There was a few tapes that just lived there at the store. I don't think they belonged to anybody. But one was their previous album, Leave Home. I got hooked by the great songs and the buzzsaw guitar. And eventually, I may or may not have long-term borrowed that cassette from the back room of the store.
Oh,
But, when I moved to Boston in the fall of 1992, I was lucky enough to catch the Ramones live in concert at the Orpheum.
Nice.
I was way, way at the back of the place, but I had a great time anyway. When leaving the show, I met the girl who would become my girlfriend until the end of college. I guess I can't blame the Ramones for that mistake, can I? Am I entitled to a large cash reward compensation?
Oh, shit.
Should I call JG Wentworth?
You need to write a song about it.
But the show was great. Yeah, she was the one that became like a donkey farmer in Oregon. So
Holy shit, Dave, what?
I guess I'll forgive the boys for saddling me with the lousy girlfriend.
You dated a donkey farmer?
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations.
No, that's not congratulation worthy. So back to this album. I got it way later, but I have previously given it 4 out of 5 stars in my personal iTunes. I doubt my opinion will be much different, but let's see.
Dave, so let's talk about this Spencer store. What was it called?
It was called Sidetrack.
Sidetracks. It's in New Jersey?
Yes.
So I can imagine Dave, like he's definitely got like some sort of parachute pants on, right? For sure. He's got like
it wasn't that far back in the 80s. It was 1991.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe not parachute pants. I was thinking it, I had it in my mind. It was awesome. Like maybe spiked bracelet, like maybe a little bit of a mullet because he's just growing it out. Parachute pants. I don't know. Like Frankie
He had
loves
short hair back then.
Oh,
Yeah, I was growing out the hair.
Uh-huh.
Frankie
By
loves
then.
Hollywood shirt. I don't know. I don't know. I saw GNR at the fucking Orpheum. That was such a great place to see bands, and that was the best show I ever saw ever. So
Yeah,
good.
I've seen a bunch of bands there. I saw Bon Jovi at the Orpheum.
Did you really?
Like in 1995.
Wow,
when-
that's a small club to see Jovi in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was after they were famous, kind of. You know, they were on the downswing, and they
Oh,
were doing
really?
like, oh yeah, this was after their big time, and they weren't really fashionable anymore.
Holy shit.
So they were at the Orpheum. I think I saw Alice Cooper there too.
I
Like
saw Alice Cooper there.
in
I saw Ozzy there.
late 90s.
I saw
something.
I saw Accept there, Zodiac Mind Warp, and
Nice.
Wasp, and of course Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Lisa, talk about this album. I'm actually curious. Had you ever listened to it all the way through?
Not on purpose.
Oh, no.
I never owned this album. I'm embarrassed to tell everyone I'm not a huge fan of the Ramones in general. I feel like it's like a rite of passage that everyone is. I'm really not. They're fine. They're fun. I know all the hits, but there isn't anything that I would ever choose to purposely turn on. I've never seen them play live. Never bought their albums. I don't own their merch. But I enjoy.
Sacrilege.
Yeah,
I think I've personally gone through about 3 or 4 Ramones t-shirts.
Nice, at least.
I
Over the
enjoy their
years.
place. Yeah, I enjoy their place in pop culture, right? Like when they would appear on TV shows and how long they were able to keep that signature look for. And now learning that it was a gimmick and they actually hated it really kind of makes me sad. I enjoy when bands cover their songs because hearing like one song or 2 songs at a time, I like that. And I like seeing Warthog, the band fronted by our friend Mike. They happen to be playing next in May at Kodo in Salem, Massachusetts. They do a lot of benefit shows as a Ramones cover band, and this one coming up is for pancreatic cancer awareness. It's an annual show put on at Kodo by Janae, who lost her friend Dana Gabriel to pancreatic cancer. So Janae puts on this show every year, and all the proceeds go to pancan.org. And Warthog has kind of been a staple on that lineup for a really long time. And I love seeing them in that show. Their current lineup has been together since 2007. They've been a band since 2005, Warthog. And Bella actually told me that, he's known some of these guys for, 30 plus years, and that they're all still friends and really enjoy playing with each other. And that's because they never wrote original music together. So
Well, they're a fucking great Ramones cover band.
Oh, they really are. And Bella's a great guy and, generous and wonderful guy. And he's always out there supporting other bands as well. So Yeah, so that's my connection to Ramones is through Warthog, not through the actual Ramones. So
All right. Let's rate the singer. As always, it is going to be 1 through 100, 25 on hair, 25 on style and stage presence, and 50% on vocal talent. So I will get us going. So honestly, Joey's haircut looks like shit. So he gets 9 points there. Next, I watched a show from their 1977 tour, and Joey's feet never moved once from where he was standing. I mean, he didn't even tap his toe, okay? The outfit was cool. I mean, leather and denim, you can't go wrong there. So 14 points right there. And finally, vocal ability. He does what he does perfectly, but technically, really not a lot going on there. So I'm going to go 36 points there for a total of 59 points, but 20 more points because he's Joey fucking Ramone for a grand total of 79 points. I added another little thing there. Dave.
Yes, Joey was not your average lead singer. Super tall, as we said, at least 6'6". Some people theorize that that he may have had back problems, that he never could really stand up completely straight, and he may have actually been even taller than 6'6". Lanky, kind of weird looking, but a magnetism that was undeniable. His kindness and character earned him friends and fans both within and outside of show business. I'm going to give him a 15 on hair. It wasn't, it was long, but kind of was a mess. The Ramones weren't concerned with primping and hairspray. 24.2 on style and stage. Quite honestly, most of the time, I will detract points if a singer plants themselves on stage and doesn't move around, but that was kind of Joey's thing. Standing at center stage behind his castle of stage monitors in his trademark hunched stance, only occasionally headbanging or doing a little jump around. It is said that his health issues and severe shyness contributed to this behavior, where he preferred to stay in one spot and concentrate on his singing. This worked for him between his statuing on stage and the leather jacket and the dark glasses, creating an aura of mysterious cool. I'll give him a 44 on vocal talent. Was he the greatest singer ever? No way. Did he sell a song, be able to inject weird humor into it, and sound totally unique while doing it? Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You can hear Elvis influence. You can hear Ronnie Spector influence, who he would later make friends with and work on her solo albums. He was definitely original with his own sound. Dee Dee Ramone was quoted as saying all the other singers in New York were copying David Johansen of the New York Dolls, who was copying Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
But Joey was unique, totally unique. My Joey Ramone score is 83.2.
Nice. We were pretty close for different reasons. Lisa.
Oh, this is a hard one to rate him against the other frontmen. He's an icon, right?
Oh, yeah.
His
right.
style has been copied and reproduced and remixed and venerated and debated since their early days. He had thick brown hair in that, that, what do they call it? A bowl cut? Is that what you would call it?
Like
Joey
Lloyd.
didn't really have a bowl
Yeah,
cut.
the signature bangs, I think, is the thing. And when I see that, I know it's him. Like, nobody else has that haircut. Nobody else looks like him. Nobody else is that tall and lanky. I recognize
Howard
him from
Stern
a mile
is-
away.
Looks just
Well,
like him.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Stiles is. We just talked
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
actor is sure. But I mean, as far as rock stars goes, other than, Peter Steele, who was very tall, there weren't many like him at all. There was no glam. There was no makeup. There was no glitter. There was no sequins. He had his sunglasses that he always wore and his generic greaser outfit with the jeans and the leather jacket. It was minimalist, just like the music was minimalist. Now, in my memory, the performances I thought were like high energy. Weren't they like pogoing around and dancing? Well, I went and looked at all the live shots and no, they were not.
The bass player and the guitar player got
A little bit.
moved it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Jamming.
But I always thought it was much more like when you watch the Sex Pistols and everybody's going crazy on stage. Like that's what I remember punk being. I did not realize that the Ramones were this much reserved. So
Way
this
more
was
reserved.
shocking to me. Yeah, he basically stands in like one position. It's fine. It's not really exciting for me. He doesn't interact with the crowd. I know because he's very shy. You know, all the other guys, you know, they get all sweaty and they peel down to their shirts. Joey never. Always the same thing, always wearing the jacket, never changes. You know, but you have to give it to him. He is an icon. He's a creator of kind of this genre of music. He's a pop culture sensation. His voice is extraordinarily recognizable. You know exactly that it's him on every track. You know, it's built on simplicity. It's not for me though. I respect it. It's a 67.7.
There you go. I mean, at least my score was a 59 before I had a 20 for him being cool. So,
Yeah. And you know,
Alright.
he seems to be a genuine nice guy. So
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, add it up. Where does he land?
okay, on the Violent Vinyl Screamer leaderboard, Joey Ramone of the Ramones. This is from 1977. Comes in at, I'm wrong. Is it 1977? You're shaking your head.
No, it's 77.
It's not, yeah. Okay, see, I'm right.
No, I'm just shaking my head
of where he is on the
ranking.
chart. Okay.
It's got Parkinson's
so
onset.
he comes in with a total score of 76.63, which puts him at number 19, just barely above Blackie Lawless and underneath Janet Gardner Vixen.
I think Joey Ramone is a better frontman than the girl who sings for Vixen. Thanks.
I think you're probably right.
Oof.
Okay.
I mean, nothing against Vixen, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I
I
think
didn't realize Janet was that high on the leaderboard. I'm happy for that.
How did Janet get that high on the leaderboard?
I think she's great.
Yeah.
Joey Ramone certainly deserves to be in the top 10. What
I
the
think
fuck?
I agree. I have to
Ugh.
agree.
Uh-oh.
All right. So Lisa, you know, the Ramones, it's a vibe, right?
It
It's
is
a
a
vibe.
vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a feeling.
And
yeah.
if you didn't have the experience where this album kind of soundtracked your life, like, you know, like sleeping on the floor of the Charlestown complex for 2 years,
Right.
like, yeah, I'm punk. I'm this. I like it. It makes you feel good. Like,
Yeah, I
that's
didn't
why.
have that.
Yeah. So I can see why you would put it on and just go, oh my God, this is the same song over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a lot of stuff going on, you know, so it's very minimalized, like you said. So we're going to get into it. All right, let's get into the tracks and thoughts. Coming in at number 1, Creed and Hop.
1, 2, 3, 4, Creedence wanna hop some more. 4, 5, 6, 7, all the Creedence go to heaven. There's no stopping the Creedence from hopping.
All right, so this one opens up with the best trashy guitar sound ever, right? Like just immediately you're like, oh, all right, Ramones. Then we get Tommy and Dee Dee, and these guys just play great together. I mean, it's fucking Green Day before Green Day. It's just good. It just sounds like the Ramones. Finally, Joey has one of the most recognizable voices ever, just like you guys were saying. And he sounds great here. Great lyrics, great melodies. And during the 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, they add some extra reverb that really makes the section pop. It's a great opening track. And I'm going to say this a few times on the album. Anytime the producer touches a knob with effect on it, or they do anything that adds like just something different in a song, it really stands out. And I just wish there was more of it on the album, you know? Dave.
Big sound, thicker than their previous albums. It's got a count chant section. Lyrics aren't super deep, but the groove is great. Inspiration for the minimal lyrics seems to have sprung from a trip to a St. Paul, Minnesota gig where the band was amused by road signage referring to the local Cretin Durham Hall High School and the adjacent Cretin Avenue. These were all named after a historically prominent area bishop, Joseph Cretin. Instead of a derogatory term, the Ramones used the word Cretin to describe their outcast fans and themselves as a celebration of being different and united.
Nice.
So I found this article that I'll probably sprinkle in with my description of each song on loudersound.com, and is called The Ramones Rocket to Russia Track by Track Guide
Oh, cool.
by producer Ed Stasium, who was a sound engineer on this album, and as we said, perhaps an uncredited producer for this album. And this article came out in December 2017, so I'll be adding some quotes from him. And he says about this song, in my humble opinion, the best opening track on any of the Ramones LPs.
That's a good one.
Joey takes us on a 1, 2, 3, 4 mentally disturbed comic journey in less than 2 minutes.
Fucking Dave, you nailed it, man. The charm of these songs, the only thing that makes this album palatable for 14 songs is all these great stories he's telling, and they're so weird and so much fun.
Yeah.
Totally. Lisa.
Okay. Loud and messy, which is exactly what I expected. For me, the percussion is kind of the heartbeat that drives the song along. Simple guitar chords, no George Lynch happening here. The vocals, we aren't talking about a guy hitting the high notes or any of that. We have a static voice with very little variation. Punk at the time was new, but nowadays this sounds to me super formulaic. But I have to keep reminding myself this hadn't been done yet, right? This was new back then, other than, by the Sex Pistols, who were accused of stealing from the Ramones. So lyrics are just fit into the beat as cleanly as possible. There's maybe one idea repeated, and it's much more about the feel of the song and about the danceability of the song. Cretins, for those who don't know, are Ramones fans. They're kind of backhanded term of endearment. It's not because his fans are Cretins, it's because they originated on Cretin Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota when the band was on tour. That's where they got the name from. The actual word, unfortunately, means a stupid person. But going even further back in time, it was a psychiatric illness caused by iodine deficiency, which caused intellectual disability. Yeah. The song is less than 2 minutes. It ends just as I'm kind of starting to like it. This isn't really my favorite kind of music. I like it in small doses, and this may already have been enough.
Oh, Lisa, I would be surprised, Dave, if there's even one guitar lick on this entire album.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a problem. I mean, I'm not even looking for a guitar solo, just a lick, just a pop. And yeah, man, if you're not hypnotized by the vibe of this album and you didn't grow up on it and it doesn't have a special place in your heart, I can see it getting old very fast.
Yeah.
Coming in at track number 2, Rockaway Beach.
Rock, rock, rock away, beach. Rock, rock, rock away, beach. Rock, rock, rock away, beach. We can hit your ride to rock away, beach. Rock, rock, rock away, beach. Rock, rock, rock away, beach. Rock, rock, rock away, beach. We can hit your ride to rock away, beach.
All right, so we all know this one. It's a perfectly written pop punk song for sure. And as this album is unfolding, I can really hear the Beach Boys' influence in this band. And it's so weird because they don't sound anything like the Beach Boys, but they sound exactly like the Beach Boys, if that makes any sense, right? We get a very simple arrangement. I mean, Lisa, can we even call these arrangements?
No,
No, we
really.
can use the word arrangement. Yeah, it's just a very basic Ramones formula. Big iconic chorus. Everybody knows it. It's a great track. I mean, it's a great track. Dave.
This was the second single off the album, and it reached number 66, the highest any Ramones single would ever reach in America. This one is an absolute Ramones classic, written by bassist Dee Dee, about Rockaway Beach in Queens, New York. It is located between Jamaica Bay and the Atlantic Ocean, with Brooklyn to the west and JFK Airport to the east. It's northwest and northeast. Joey is said to have grown up near there, and Dee Dee was a frequent visitor to that beach. I love the song. It's badass and sounds cool. The song was used in 2002 in the What's New Scooby-Doo episode, She Sees Sea Monsters by the Seashore.
Ooh.
In June 2013, the song was used in a radio ad campaign sponsored by Queens Economic Development Corporation to promote recovery from Hurricane Sandy by drawing New Yorkers back to Rockaway Beach. And Ed Stasium says in his article, inspired by the Beach Boys, this East Coast answer to Surfin' Safari was the second track that we recorded upon entering Media Sound. I'm supposing that's the studio they recorded in, on August 21st, 1977. We had so much fun recording the backing vocals in the isolation room in Power Station Studio A.
Dave, I have to wonder if sometimes they have some studio musicians in there singing backups, right?
Depends. There may be a track coming up where there's some
Because
guest
some
singers.
of the oohs and ahs feel a little too clean to be the Ramones. Like,
Sure.
I'm hearing Beach Boy backups on this album, like all over it. Whenever they want to get sweet and smooth and rounded out, I'm hearing ringers. Lisa,
So they count a lot. That's like their thing, right?
they
1,
count
2,
a
3,
lot.
4.
Daddy's
I mean,
little
okay.
girl, just like my old band.
Yeah. I like this slightly different style. Of course, I'm a fan of surf music, being a former surfer. This is like classic Beach Boys style. And it's interesting to see how cleanly the punk grew out of surf music and how perfectly it fits. Not much different musically here, simple chords, static voice, repetitive, but as you said last week, Dave, like a warm, comfortable blanket. Not much here lyrically, a single idea again, we're going to the beach. If I didn't know better, it feels almost like a cover of a Beach Boys song, and I know that it's not, but I feel like it really could have been. There's a line in the lyrics that I actually really like, chewing out a rhythm on my bubble gum.
It's cool. That's great.
That is really
It's great.
cool. Yeah.
It's great lyric writing.
I also noticed the background vocals like you did, Beach Boys style, like falsetto harmony, which is like messily perfect. I am missing some kind of difference in the guitar, just something other than the rhythm. Yeah. And this one ends really abruptly, almost like it's in the middle of a bar. Like they didn't even finish the bar. It was just like, what happened? But yeah, cool.
Dude, that gum line is so good. That's
great.
that's what makes, like, when I'm listening to this album, I have to just really hyper focus on what he's saying to keep it
Yeah.
interesting, because the music just starts to become a hum. Fun fact, Boston is in the Northeast.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Whatever.
That's a fun fact. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Coming in at number 3, Here Today, Gone Tomorrow.
And I think of times we walked together as time went on. It seemed forever, but times have changed now. Things are better. Someone had to pay the price.
All right. So this one is weird because the lyrics are so simple and rhyme like crazy. But Joey, his delivery is so damn good with these dark melodies. It gets so melancholy. Like these odd little changes he's doing. We also get some nice little production moments in this song, like some flange on the guitar. Even though he's not playing a lick, the producer's like, we fucking got to do something here. So they put a little flange on it. It stands out like crazy because there's nothing going on. I love it. We get a little delay on Joey's vocals in one spot where it slaps back a few times. Again, you're not getting a lot of it, so it really stands out like hard, and I loved it. And on an album where there's a lot of songs that sound really similar, I appreciate this track because it definitely sounds different than anything else on the album. And it is really a sleeper. It is one of my favorite Ramones songs. I love this song. And dare I say, it's a ballad. Dave.
Definitely some 60s influence in this one. Get some multi-layered guitars too. A lot of rhyming. Good overall, but not my favorite. Ed Stasium says that it's his favorite Ramones ballad, and that I Want You Around comes in second. And he says that Johnny overdubbed acoustic guitar on this track.
It just never fails. I'll be like, I think it's my favorite song. Dave's like, I really don't care for the song. Lisa, How did you see
So-
this one?
I had the same question you did, Des. Can you have a punk ballad?
Yes, you
Of course
can.
you can.
Just
Yeah.
heard it.
This is actually quite a romantic and a sad song, and
is.
not for nothing, but I hear a tiny bit of Pink's voice in these
Dude,
vocals. Do you hear
this
that?
is our old band. This is 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so
why
much.
this is why this album resonates with me, because I wrote this album again.
Yeah, yeah. Vocals are full of emotion. Lyrics are very simple, but so perfectly Ramones. The slower tempo and the more controlled drums are really nice. It is still the same formula, but it's really working for me on this one. In contrast with last week's extraordinarily complex album, this one is just this song is just as effective with so much less, and I really love it.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of the ones that really stands out to me on the album. Coming in at number 4, Locket Love.
Lovely, lovely, lucky love. Cause the pictures never does. Try to expose you for what you put me through. Hang on a little bit longer. Hang on, you're a goner.
So this one really follows the Ramones blueprint of songwriting here, right? But there lies the rub with the Ramones for me. On its own, it's a fun little pop punk song with a cool little chorus. But when you're listening to 14 songs and 10 of them sound like sections of the same song, it's not quite as effective. So for me, the Ramones are always better if I put them on a playlist and their songs kind of pop in and out between other songs. And then I can really hear them for what they are, their own song. But when I try and listen to this album consecutively, it's a vibe. Cool track though, Dave.
I think the dark humor is coming out here. Am I reading too much into it, or is this about murdering your boyfriend or girlfriend by hanging them from a necklace chain?
Oh my God.
So, I don't know.
That's illegal even in the Northeast.
Yes, great song. I like the hang on hook, and the subject matter makes it creepy.
Yeah.
Ed Stasium says that he recalls the band citing the Steve Miller Band success with that soft rock California sound. We attempted to slightly mimic this by adding clean and acoustic guitars, doubling them and featuring them in the mix, as opposed to Johnny's main, buzzing,
Yeah.
high energy guitar.
It really didn't add enough flavor to this guitar track. I barely noticed it.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of
Yeah.
neutered the sound a little bit by adding in all that stuff.
Totally. Lisa.
The formula is starting to wear on me.
5 tracks.
It's only the fourth song.
I know. I was going to
know.
say 4 tracks in.
The same chord progression specifically, I think, is the problem. I'm still bopping along to it. It's fun. I'm still, bopping my head. Lyrically, another simple song. You're giving a locket to your girl, or maybe you're killing her with it. I'm not really sure which. I do hear 2 hooks in this song, though. You have the lovely, lovely locket love, and then you have hang on a little bit longer. I like both of those. It's cute, maybe a little bit too repetitive. And nothing in this song grabs me as unique and standoutish. This one is not super memorable to me. I think of it as like a filler.
Yeah. All right, coming in at number 5. I Don't Care.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about this world. I don't care about that girl. I don't care.
So this one maybe needed a few more words. Am I right? He's like 4 words in his entire song. The backup vocals, wonky as fuck, even for punk rock. They're terrible. The track is fine, but there's honestly almost nothing going on this. This is barely even a song, Dave.
This one's a little trashier sounding, like their older stuff. A very punk rock sentiment. I don't care. Who's doing these backup vocals? That I would imagine it's probably Dee Dee, but they sound very weird. Do you think he cares?
No, I don't.
A demo version of this song appears on the deluxe version of the first Ramones album, where the fake English accents are even more amped up and weird. Ed Stasium says about this that this is the first song that Joey wrote. Joey's brother Mickey taught him the chords to Alice Cooper's I'm 18, and he immediately penned this tune. Joey wrote Here Today, Gone Tomorrow the following day. Whilst perusing the multi-tracks for the box set, I discovered that we recorded a new version of I Don't Care at Media Sound, but we opted for the B-side version of the original LP. This previously unheard alternate version is included on the Rocket to Russia box. So it almost sounds like that this recording that we hear on the album was a leftover from the first Ramones album, or at least that's what I'm getting out of this. So that's maybe why it sounds more like their older stuff, because it was recorded back then.
It sounds like somebody's first song that they wrote. Lisa.
At least we have a different chord progression here, and I thought I was crazy. It is a fake British accent in this song,
Oh
right?
yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like, is that they're
Yeah.
putting on like a weird accent.
Is this like a big middle finger to the Sex Pistols? Is that what's happening? Maybe, but
This was before the Sex Pistols were a thing.
but they were in the underground at the time, so I'm thinking there was some knowledge of them. Anyway, yeah, this is so repetitive. I'm thankful for there being more than 3 chords. I think there might be 4 in this one, so that's actually good. If you remember when we did Motley Crue's first album and we did Merry Go Round, and the chorus and the Brit, like everything, it was just merry-go-round around over and over again. Yeah. And but what I said was, when Vince did that, he said each line a little bit differently, almost like he was telling a story with just the lyrics.
Yep.
We don't get that here. It's literally the same thing
I
over
don't
and over
care.
again. Yeah.
Dad.
Like, yeah, he's like, I wanted to see, you can tell a story with that line if you do it differently every time, but I didn't really hear that here. Shortest song on the album, it's only 1 minute 38 seconds. How much can you really put into that? You know,
you can put that
So-
one word in quite a few times.
yeah,
They don't care.
yeah.
Surprisingly.
Don't care.
No, song's all right. I like it.
Coming in at track number 6. Sheena is a punk rocker.
Rocker.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Sheena is a bone rocker. Sheena is a bone rocker. Sheena is a bone rocker now. Sheena is a bone rocker. Sheena is a bone rocker. Sheena is a bone rocker now.
All right, so this is definitely mine and everybody else's favorite Ramones song. I mean, it's in the top 3 anyway. Great verses, great pre-chorus, killer iconic chorus. My only knock here is I wish they had attempted a scrappy little guitar solo, little grimy, scrappy, even if it's just a little beach surf. Like it needed something, but we don't get it here. It's just, it's a hole in the song. But besides that, it's a fucking killer song. Dave.
This was the first Ramones single to enter the Billboard charts. It reached number 81. It was released in May of 1977, before the rest of the album was even recorded. This one was also written by Joey. It was added to copies of the second run of the band's previous album, 1977's Leave Home, and was remixed and re-released on this album. So, yeah, the version I had of Leave Home had this on it. So, the Sheena referred to in the title is the comic book character Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. The idea being that punk rock music would appeal to a savage jungle girl brought to civilization.
I like it.
The song is notable for being one of the first to explicitly refer to punk rock in its title and lyrics in terms of a subculture. The song starts with Dee Dee yelling 4 since the tape machine had not started running yet to catch his entire trademark 1, 2, 3, 4 count off. Yeah, it's like, oh shit, they're starting. Hit the button. 4. Great song. Definitely more production added to this song. I hear multiple guitars, percussion overdubs, and lots of background vocals. Ed Stasium says Sheena and I Don't Care had been recorded earlier in the year at Sun Dragon Studio, where we had recorded Leave Home. Both songs were remixed at Power Station during the Rocket to Russia sessions. This is yet another example of the Beach Boy influence, as Johnny and Tommy asked me to play a plunky guitar bit that was similar to Little Honda. I'm assuming that's a Beach Boys song. In addition, we brought in my boyhood friend, Michael Bonagura, with Katie Bialy and Alan LeBouf for a Beach Boys backing vocal vibe. Here are your ringers, Des.
Yeah.
They later became Bailey and the Boys and had several top 10 country singles in the 90s. Talk about juxtaposition.
Wow.
No.
So
Fun
there's
facts.
your backup vocals.
Don't you wish that there were some, like just one track, like even if it was panned like Hard Left, with just like, even if there were 2, 3 note little licks, like nothing. I'm talking even just like hitting the fucking like A string twice, like sharply, like just
Oh, yeah.
anything. Just
Oh,
to
yeah.
wake this guitar up a little bit.
Yeah, just throw in a couple Chuck Berry licks. I mean,
yeah.
wouldn't have taken more than 10 minutes
Oh,
for the
man.
whole album.
The whole album. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just something.
Oh, yeah.
Lisa.
I really love that fun fact about the 4.
Yeah.
they,
yeah, that's
they
cool.
were just like, we're not going to do it again. Fuck it. We're good. It's all good. Another surf style song. This might be their most recognizable song. I think people who aren't even Ramones fans at all know this song. The first time you hear it, that hook is fire, and you will sing along with it, even if it's against your will. It couldn't be more catchy if they tried.
So good.
So every single one of their albums seems to have a song about a girl, right? So we have Judy as a punk off the first album. We have Susie as a headbanger off the second album, right? They kind of sprinkle it through. She's not a real girl. Would have been cooler if she was.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Lyrically, it's incredibly repetitive. It has one repeated verse and a chorus it's just the hook over and over again. But for some reason in this one, it doesn't feel that repetitive. The song isn't even 3 minutes long. That might explain why it doesn't feel so repetitive. I do like how they bend the hook, like an old surf song would do. It feels nostalgic to the 50s. And now that we're listening to it nowadays, it's also nostalgic to the 70s. So now it's like double nostalgia. I've always liked this song. I love to hear it covered. It's fun. People love it. Crowds love it. It's danceable. It's singable. I can't find a fault with it at all.
Yeah, I mean, when it's that good, you can repeat yourself,
Exactly. Yeah.
When it's that good. All right, coming in at the number 7 spot, We're a Happy Family.
We're a happy family. We're a happy family. We're a happy family. Hey, mom and daddy. We're a happy family. We're a happy family. We're a happy family. Hey, mom and daddy. Sitting here in Queens, eating refriends, wearing all the magazines, gulping down Pharisees.
All right, this song is so fucking fun. It's so 70s New York City punk. And these are probably my favorite Ramone lyrics. Out of all Ramone songs, these are probably my favorite lyrics. Is it my favorite song? Not even close. But these lyrics are fucking all time. This one's a winner for me, Dave.
Google says this song is a cynical, satirical attack on the idealized 1950s, 60s American nuclear family and suburban boredom. It highlights dysfunction, including references to pill popping, lying, and neglect. Ironically contrasting these dark images with a cheerful, repetitive chorus to expose the hypocrisy of normal life. Boy, the internet lets us have some, crazy artistic descriptions here.
Sounds right, though.
Yeah, it's over the top, silly lyrics make this one very entertaining. I'm not sure if the band was aiming for social commentary or dopey fun, but this is a good one. Ed Stasium says it's a brilliant song about a dysfunctional tribe. Tommy and I had a blast doing the audio montage to accompany Joey and Dee Dee's bantering in the outro section. Carefully listen for a toilet flush, lion, alarm clock, Ed's DJ impression, a bunch of friends at an actual party, his daughter Sarah crying, and his dog Finchley barking. So you see if you can check off the list there when you listen to this song.
Oh, that's cool. I just assumed that they like faked all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just thought, I didn't think it would like actually
From a sound effects record or something.
Yeah, I didn't think this is all like real stuff, like they're real fucking peoples and dogs and shit. That's pretty cool. Lisa.
Oh, so this is what I think of when I think of New York punk. No surf music here. 3 chords and a simple hook. But wow, the rhyming. Sitting here in Queens, eating refried beans. We're in all the magazines.
Up and down Thorazine.
Yikes.
That's my favorite.
Yes. It's great.
I
It's great.
understand it is completely intended, and at the time was new to make such like a ridiculous and messy and nonsensical rhyme that only punk can do. I like the story that they're telling. There's a family and they're normal and happy, but mom's on pills, dad's gay, the baby's sick, reflecting on what's happening in reality with families, problems that people were hiding in the 50s and 60s that were actually there. I love the cacophony at the end, the baby's crying and the dog's barking and the feedback noises. And I'm seeing it as like, oh, it's like sampling, in punk, extra cool. So, yeah.
It's like sampling in punk. That's fucking funny. It's true, though. It's true. It's like what would it be like? Organic sampling, I guess.
Yeah, right.
All right, that
Street
ends
sounds.
Street Sounds. That ends side A. So we're going to flip the show over. And we're going to head over to the Should They Have Made It segment. This week's band is the Heartthrob Mob with their song, Deja Vu. Roll it. All right. So the Heartthrob Mob, these guys have been on my radar for years on, my deep dives on YouTube. I discovered them right away because they look great, obviously. As for the song, this is obviously a fairly low budget demo, but these guys were all pretty good players for a truly great looking Hollywood strip band. I mean, usually when they look this good, the performance drops off a cliff pretty far. I'm not sure about this, but I believe this is Tracy Michaels on drums. He played with Peppermint Creeps. I'm like
It is. We will talk
95%
about
sure.
that.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get
Oh,
Tracy Michaels.
yes.
This guy was one of the legit drummers on the strip at the time, and he just happened to look amazing as well. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. The singer, Lonnie. So this guy, he could actually sing, unlike some of the other glam guys from the scene of the time. I mean, most guys, if they looked this good, they just couldn't sing, or they were doing that thing that everybody was doing. So they sounded exactly like every other shitty band. This guy could sing, so for me, it just sounds different, and I liked it. Bass is solid. Guitar solo ain't too bad. Like, it came up, and I'm like, this ain't bad. This ain't bad for a guy that looks this good. With some better production, some tweaks to the song, I believe these guys had the chops to join the big show alongside bands like Pretty Boy Floyd. I mean, that's where I mean, they're never going to be Guns N' Roses or anything like that, but they definitely could have, gone toe to toe with Pretty Boy Floyd. So for me, it's pushing 77.9 watts. And yeah, sure, they could have done something. Dave.
Okay, yeah. Heartthrob Mob is a hard rock / glam metal band from Los Angeles, California, USA that was formed in 1992. Their first full album, Hit List, came out in 93. And the album this song appears on is called Eat Your Heart Out, and it came out in 1995. Both albums are on the band's own record label. They had big spiky hair and sounded a little bit like Pretty Boy Floyd and Poison, and they kind of looked like Touch Me Hooker.
Yes, they did.
They sure looked like you guys back in the day. The song is pretty good. Definitely would benefit from a bigger produced recording. Nothing groundbreaking musically, but it's like a fun-sized candy bar that just tastes good.
Sure.
I will say in 93, 94, 95, these guys had zero chance of making it with music like this in the real world. But what the hell? I say they should have made it. I definitely would have rather listened to this than Pearl Jam and Sheryl Crow. So I'm giving them a 73.5.
I love Sheryl Crow. Fucking that Steve McQueen song. That's a good song.
I do not care for her music. Although I used to work at Strawberries in on Boylston. Was it Boylston Street? But it was over by the Prudential Center, the big one that they opened up. The like big flagship store that they opened up in the mid 90s. And I got a job there. And she actually did an in-store appearance when her first album came out. So yeah, they did like an in-store signing, and I was just hanging out right there.
Like Steve McQueen, all I need's a fast machine. That's fucking a good chorus. Lisa, Dave, I want to say one more thing. You're totally right. At the time this came out, there was no chance. But if you put this band back in like the Snowmen era, like early 80s, like 83, 84, 85, sure. Lisa.
So in 95, like you said, they couldn't have made it. And the only way they could have gotten this album out was to self-fund. And that's exactly what they did. They self-funded the album to get it out, which I'm glad that they did. So singer Lonnie has been in the band since its inception, and before this he was in a band called Foxy Rocks, which formed in 1989.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, check them out; they're excellent as well. You had Bobby Vanden, Devastate, and of course Tracy Michaels. Before this, he was in local bands called Champagne and Wasted Angel. And after this, he would go on to found the Peppermint Creeps, which I keep saying is a band I'm going to choose for this segment. I just haven't gotten it. Yeah.
It's coming.
I'm going to have to. Yeah, unfortunately, he did pass at the age of 34 in 2008 after a concert. The band reported that they saw no drugs, but that he was a very heavy drinker. He had passed out from drinking, and they put him to bed at 4 a.m. They heard him snoring at 6 a.m., and by 9 a.m. he was gone.
That's crazy.
Mourners were asked to bring stickers to place on his casket at his funeral. After a party, the after party was held at the Rainbow in West Hollywood and was absolutely huge. I won't go into the Peppermint Creeps at this time. We'll do that in a future episode. But I will say that singer Marky DeSade of the Peppermint Creeps did come out saying that Tracy was drinking, but had been in ill health the entire year leading up to his death from liver complications. He said that Tracy had thought his death was coming soon and had told many people that. But he wants people to know that Tracy was having the time of his life touring with the band and playing music, and that this was in no way intentional. And he would be right. The cause of death did turn out to be liver failure.
That's
Very sad loss. Yeah.
Ugh.
The band has a really happy glam pop tone. The production is a little top heavy for me, almost like Pretty Boy Floyd was, where you lose the bottom and you lose the bass, and you get just that kind of tinny top, which for some styles of music is good. But I have a comment about that. Singer has a good voice. He kind of has that nasal whine sometimes, but he went a little sweet on this recording. Right. Yeah. So like I don't know if it was the production that forced him into that. But we'll talk about that in a second. Guitars are strong. I feel like there's some synth underlying in this, maybe a little bit, or layered guitars that are overly affected. And the drums are what's doing it for me on this recording.
Yes,
they are just so good. And guitar solo. Thank God for a guitar solo after the album that we're doing right now.
It's a good one too.
It's a good one. It's a little pop, maybe a little simple, has some feeling. I'd like to hear a dirtier version. So what I actually did was I went and I looked at the band's live stuff, and they had a lot of live recordings online, and I was thinking, wow, this, it's a little sweet, it's a little syrupy, it's a little Pretty Boy Floyd. But then you go and you look at the live concerts, and they are dirty and gritty and sleazy.
Nice.
And it's much more glamour punks than it is Pretty Boy Floyd when you hear them live. And I'm wondering if the producer made them into this syrupy sweet version for the recording, when there's a live performance of their song Eat Your Heart Out, and it's like the singer has that growl, and you don't hear that on the recorded version, and like that's what I want on the recorded version. Love their style, love their big hair, love their super glammed out, ultra glam edge. The guitarist in the live video had a sequin black jacket with feathers on the end of the sleeves and a bright pink, bubblegum pink guitar. I was like, oh my God, like couldn't be more perfect. And if you saw Des, the bass player has the little Pebbles ponytail that you used to have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah. And in the live performance, you can see how good the drummer is. Tracy was just a master of this style, and he got a little buried, I think, on the recorded mix, but man, in the live shows he is just blasting right through everyone. There's a 2008 performance from this band, and surprisingly they sound exactly the same, and this of course is without Tracy, and actually I believe they switched out the bass player as well. Singer is the same, but they still, it's a little bit newer and slicker, but they still had the grit, and I really wanted to see that on the recorded stuff. But I love this. I love this band, and I'm giving them an 87.9.
Nice.
Definitely should have made it.
There's some really fun documentary style stuff on YouTube about the Peppermint Creeps, like during Tracy's last tour with them, like with like the end days. And it's really honest and great stuff, man. Like you got to check it out. It's really, really cool. And I think a lot of it is actually, has a lot of Tracy Michaels in it. And it's just really cool, man. It was a shame we lost him. He was very influential. Like there's a band called Sleazy Cheetah from Atlanta, and the singer's Cody Ragsdale, I believe. Younger kids, still trying to do the 80s glam thing. And, he was devastated when Tracy died, and he looks up to him and, dyes his hair the same way. And so, I mean, this guy was still influencing kids in their 20s now. So tip of the hat to Tracy Michaels.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, and that singer from
Okay.
Peppermint Creeps. Oh, he's fucking good. That guy's
Oh,
legit,
he's
too.
so good
He's
too.
good.
Desaad.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
We'll get there.
Yep. Okay, on the Should They Have Made It chart for Violent Vinyl Radio, Heartthrob Mob with their song Deja Vu, which was on their 1995 album, comes in at a 79.77. That puts them at number 10, just barely under Theater of the Absurd. I mean, like by, 10, hundredths of a point, and just above Pharaoh with Red Flag.
I like that Pharrell album. That Pharrell song, that was pretty good. That's good. That's what I mean. It doesn't really matter where they land. They're all just kind of, in that same cloud of bands. So I like it. I like it a lot. All right, everybody, let's flip this show over to side B and finish this thing up. Coming in at number 8, Teenage Lobotomy. So on an album with very little flashy production, my ears perked up anytime they turned an effects knob on this album. And I love the effect on Joey's vocal during the intro chorus. Honestly, the drums could have used a little bit more effect on this whole album to punch them up a little bit. They were really dry and it made them sound really small. And I understand that it's punk and you want that tight fucking drum sound. I get it. I'm not saying turn this into fucking Wild Mick Brown. I'm just saying just round it out a little bit. But this is another iconic Ramones tune that I absolutely love. Always loved it. Dave.
Here's that weird sense of humor again. This is a great song. I actually sang and played this in my band in the mid-90s.
Nice.
If you don't know, a lobotomy is an operation that involves severing connections in the brain, basically with an ice pick. Gained popularity in the 1950s. Today, it is considered antiquated and no longer performed generally due to the controversy of its effectiveness and potential for excessive damage. DDT is an old insecticide, most popular from the 1940s to the 60s. You can really get a theme here that all their pop culture references, coming from the 50s and the 60s when they grew up. But DDT was found to be harmful to people and the environment and is no longer generally used, especially in the USA. Apparently, it's really good at killing mosquitoes and really good at killing anything else it touches. Ed Stasium says that Rocket to Russia was the first record to be mixed at the new Power Station studio. At the time, they had very limited outboard gear like, echo and reverb and stuff. Not one reverb plate or digital reverb device was yet in place. Digital reverb wasn't even invented by then. The very obvious reverb that one hears on this song during the chant sections was achieved by using a stairwell that ran the entire height of the building.
You're shitting me.
No, they sent a tape delay to a pair of JBL 4310 speakers that were placed in the stairwell. Using a pair of Neumann U87 mics, we returned them to the mixing desk and blended them into the mix. This method was the only reverb used during the mixing of the entire original LP. During the early 2000s, a fire inspection by the New York Fire Department demanded that the speakers be removed as they deemed them a hazard in case of emergency. So yeah, it was basically old style, old tech, lo-fi. They would play the sound through speakers, echoing through the stairway,
Record it.
and then they would record it with a microphone at the other end of the stairway and feed it back into the mixing decks.
This is
desk.
like fabricating the sound, like we were talking about in the beginning with Author and Punisher, just building stuff
Well,
that didn't exist yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 1950s,
Amazing.
technology.
Jeez,
But
like
yeah,
they used,
that's pretty cool.
they used to make fire with sticks, and they used to make reverb with speakers in hallways.
That's
It's
right.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the quest for fire, the quest for reverb. Put speaker in hallway. Lisa.
So Rosemary Kennedy was lobotomized in the 1940s, JFK's sister,
Yep.
Yeah.
and she ended up unable to speak or walk and was institutionalized. So yeah, fun procedure there.
I'm looking into it.
Yeah. Big memory song for me. I see this kind of as a, alongside of like I Want to Be Sedated as some of their, big songs that really started digging deep into the dark humor of psychiatry and mental illness.
Oh, yeah.
Great opening percussion and the yelling. The song is messy and dirty and perfectly punk. It's fun lyrically. We have a more developed song here than some of the others on the albums with some truly funny lyrics. Guess I'll have to break the news that I've got no mind to lose. Super short, less than 2 minutes, packed with a lot of fun. It must have been amazing to see live. I'm picturing like crowd surfing and moshing. And I remember the concept of slam dancing or mosh pits was kind of in its infancy during this time period, and with kind of started bands like this. So when people would pogo dance at the punk shows and they started bumping into each other, it turned into like dance fighting and slam dancing and eventually mosh pits. Other bands, of course, like hardcore punk like Black Flag or Circle Jerks, for example. But remember, watch out for each other in the mosh pit and have fun. And if someone ends up on the floor, you pick them up. And if a child enters the mosh pit, you protect them. And I was at a show. The band was King Yosef. It was the opener for Author and Punisher last week in the tiny little venue, the Sonia, and there was a mosh pit. So still going on today.
You got to remember, too, Circle Jerks came out after the Ramones, so
Yeah.
there's another band that may not have existed without the Ramones.
That's right.
It's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
crazy. It's really crazy. All right, coming in, track number 9. Do you want to dance?
Do you wanna stand there and hold my hand? Tell me, baby, if you're another man. Oh, baby, do you wanna dance? Do you wanna dance under the moonlight? Screaming, baby, all through the night. Oh, baby, do you wanna dance?
So this one is a Ramones ballad in disguise as a popped up beat tune. If you listen to the lyrics, they definitely lend themselves to a love ballad. And again, is it another 2-minute song that sounds very familiar to the majority of the album? Yes. Does it lack any pops, bells, whistles, guitar solos? Yes. So as a body of work, it starts to kind of just blend into each other. But it's a great, fun song. And, it touched the hearts of millions, the Ramones, for decades. So, I mean, they're doing something right. But again, in succession, 14 songs in a row, it does start to get a little mind numbing. Dave.
This was the third single off the album. It is a cover song, originally written and performed by Bobby Freeman. The Ramones version reached number 86 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. I went back and listened to the original. It is very 50s. There's bongos and piano and clanky 50s guitar. Bobby became known as San Francisco's first rock and roll star for this song from 1958. And I read another article where somebody claimed that what sounds like bongos was just cardboard boxes, and that it was a very kind of low budget, lo-fi recording. But it's cool. The Ramones version, of course, is harder and faster and awesome. The lyrics are simple and innocent. You can play this song for your grandma. The song was used in the 1979 film Rock and Roll High School, which we mentioned, starring the Ramones. Check it out if you have not seen it. And this song was covered by a bunch of other bands also, including the Beach Boys and Bette Midler. Connections. Ed Stasium says that this song is a far cry from Bobby Freeman's Latin-flavored original. This is again screaming out Beach Boys. We used their version as a template for the arrangement and the backing vocals. There is a great scene in Rock and Roll High School with Riff and the band marching down the halls of Vince Lombardi High to this song. Ironically, Marky Ramone at that point was in the band, and he was drum syncing, like lip syncing to Tommy Ramone's track, who had played on the actual record.
Remember when they took Bette Midler's leg out in the Seinfeld episode
Oh God.
during the softball game?
Yeah.
Bette Midler is going to be in the park today?
That was great.
Lisa, what do you got on this one?
So I also found that it was a cover. So the original, what did you say it hit for the on the charts for the Ramones? What was the number?
86.
Okay. So for Bobby Freeman, he was number 5 on the Billboard pop charts. He was number 2 on the R&B charts, and he was number 1 in Canada. So it looks like he did a little bit better. I also went and listened to the original. And did you say it was clanky? Is that what you said? Clanky?
I described the guitar as clanky, the guitar solo.
And I'm saying killer rock surf guitars.
Right.
I loved it. I actually thought it was great.
I didn't mean clanky as necessarily a negative
Okay.
term. I was just describing it like scrungy or greasy.
Boinky.
Grimy.
Noises.
I love it.
Oh my God.
Rap.
Beach Boys 1965. It sounds exactly as you would expect it to sound for a Beach Boys song. Did you listen to the Bette Midler song?
No.
Yeah, I own it.
Oh,
Of
God.
course you do.
Yikes.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
It's
I'm a man of many musical tastes.
It's
You are.
boring adult contemporary with a slow tempo that does not make you want to dance.
It's a different vibe
Oh,
to
it's-
her
there's-
version.
Missing vibe. Terrible. Okay. So this is the first cover on the album. There will be one more. This is said to be the first studio album containing 2 cover songs. So fun fact there. This is where they is this one of the first times that, they do you and like rock, they like repeat everything. Is this like where it all comes from? Is these old kind of surf songs?
I would guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
in general.
Kind of becomes their signature to me. It's short, and for me, that's key here. Just long enough to get the flavor, but not so long that you get bored by the repetition at the end. It also reminds me of, a lot of their other signature songs, so maybe a little bit formulaic. It's fine.
Yeah, it is. These songs don't lend themselves to 5-minute runtimes.
Yeah,
All right.
you wouldn't want a 5-minute version of any of these songs.
I would not. Coming in at number 10, I Want to Be Well. So this is another song with lyrics that just rhyme like crazy, and I should hate it by now because there's been a lot of this going on, but I don't, because Joey says shit that is so real world and honestly funny that it just works. Like if it wasn't clever and it wasn't like a little shocking and a little like, off-putting, I would be like, I'm so over this, but it's all those things. And for that reason, it entertains me. Dave.
Song's pretty simple. I could use a little more variety in the lyrics, but I do like it. Are we crying out for help? I totally understand.
Our reviews are getting shorter than the songs now. You can tell that you can feel the fatigue now, right, Lisa?
So we get that same pattern again. We were just talking about
Yeah.
I want again,
Yeah.
like with a repetition. But for me, this song, it's
It's the OCD.
the OCD. Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. How
Yeah,
funny for
4
you
times,
to say
4
that.
times, 4 times.
Wow. Brilliant.
Maybe we should do it 5 times here. No, 4 times.
4 times only.
Oh, I had never even thought of that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's for me, it's the yeah in the song that's so punk, and lots of bands would try to do it, and nobody does it like Joey. We even heard the glamour punks use that. And
Oh yeah.
honestly, almost every glam punk tries that. Glam punk band like tries that. So iconic. Not a real, important song here, not a lot of meaning or anything, simple chords. But yeah, here we are.
Coming in at track number 11, I Can't Give You Anything.
You better know what you want. You know how little I got. I can't give you anything. I can't give you anything. I can't give you anything.
So again, this song is so unbelievably basic and sounds exactly like 10 other songs on the album, but it's Joey's overly simple story about a broke punk kid talking to his girlfriend that keeps me interested in the song. I just tune out that the band is doing the same thing again, and there's no licks, no tricks, no bells, no whistles, no effects, no nothing. And I just focus in on the story this guy's telling me. I try to imagine it's like 1977. He's like down on McDougal Street in the Village, and he's talking to some chick, and he's just like, I got nothing for you, but and yeah, and then for me, it's fine. I can smell the summer stink of New York City, and I enjoy it. Kind of like some of those, New York Dolls songs where you just start, just, you know what I'm saying? It's a vibe, Dave. It's a vibe. Talk about the vibe.
That's right. Here's a warning song to any potential girlfriends. Play this one in the car on a first date. We'll wait. Try it out and let us know how it goes. I don't like the guitar layers in this one, but it's a cute song. Ed Stasium says, another track that the lads gave the soft rock treatment to, as they were always hoping for a chance of radio play. I think that was a mistake, personally. If one zeroes into the original mix, you can hear Johnny's classic Mose Wright and Marshall sound in the center. They should have stuck with that. Surrounded by a double-tracked Strat, played through a vintage Fender Deluxe with the addition of a Martin D28 panned hard left and right. And for you guitar nerds, that's some really sweet gear, but maybe, in my opinion, not the right gear for the Ramones.
Yeah. Dude, my brain completely melted down during my review of Do You Want to Dance? Track. I was just like, bleh. Like I forgot where I was for a minute. I was like, you know what I'm saying, right? Lisa's like, no one knows what you're saying. Lisa, go ahead.
So, a song about a broke guy that looks good. You think I'm kind of cute, but who's going to bring home the loot? Story of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Story of my life.
Sure.
Just go through my history, and this song is what it's about. Same repetitive pattern. I'm kind of worn down at this point. And so when you said about the guitars, they're very layered. They're using a lot of stuff. So my comment on the guitars is, at least we get guitars with less effects. Am I wrong about that?
There's not a ton of effects, but they have, the heavy distortion guitar. They have, a clean electric, and they have a clean acoustic.
The acoustic was what I heard.
There's not a ton of effects on any of those, but just the combination of those sounds gives you a different dimension than just the one heavy duty Marshall sound.
It was the acoustic that caught me here. I was like, wow, they're using just a clean acoustic. That feels really strange for a punk song. Also strange for a punk song.
Way far down in the mix. And
yeah. It's right in front because it was the first thing I heard. Yeah. So another weird thing for a punk song is the fade ending. This feels really strange to me.
It does. It does. So, Lisa, you're just talking about that. Like, this has always been the story of my life, too, except I've always been the broke, good-looking guy. And it was funny. So, we were doing our taxes like a week ago. I didn't share it on the show. It was actually probably about a month ago, a little less. And I didn't share this on the story because I was like, it's kind of fucking grimy on me. But so we get our tax returns, and Delyn's like fucking doing them. She's like, oh, look at that. She's like, I made like 4 times as much as you this year.
Oh,
no. Like legitimately like 4 times as much. I'm like, oh. I'm like, I'm sorry I had it down season. She's like, no. You've been a loser the whole time.
Delyn.
Oh, shit. Yeah, she's a good girl. I'd be living in a cardboard box without her. Oh, man, I married up. I really did. I married up. I was fucking really lucky to to get involved with that. And every day I do the best I can to make her leave me. She was like said to me today, like you guys saw when we were setting up. Like today, she finally just said to me, she goes, dude, you've been fucking such a dick for the last 2 days. She's like, you're so annoying. She's like, can't you just settle down? I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I just can't. She's like, fuck, man.
We even got the Delin demonstration of how you were being.
Yeah.
That was great.
She could have done much better.
It was brilliant. I can picture it in my mind.
And she makes such good decisions usually, but when that big one came around, she really made a mistake. All right, coming in at number 12, Ramona.
She always wants to come over. Sweet, sweet little Ramona. I think I'll try and phone her. I let her in if you're wondering why. But she's a spy for the BBI. I let her in and I started to cry. And then I knew I wanted to die.
All right, another classic Ramones tune. This one actually has some harmonies in the vocals. Oh, I was so excited, and I'm a sucker for a good harmony. This is another one of my favorite Ramones tunes. I only wish the band could have added a little more spice to the soup. It's so bland, the music just, it's fine. It's the Ramones, and they're solid, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but I would have taken anything here. An organ, a keyboard, a harmonica, a guitar pluck, a turn of a knob, anything. But it's not there, but it is the Ramones, and I love it, and it's a fucking great song. And I also wish that they had harmonized a little more on Joey's main vocals throughout the album, because this really shined for me pretty brightly. Dave.
According to Google, this is a, quote, punk rock love song about a woman the singer is infatuated with, who is revealed to be a spy for the BBI, which is British Bureau of Intelligence.
Yeah, baby.
Another source suggests, maybe more appropriately, that it could be the British phonographic industry, BPI. That would make more sense. Like, just having this girl works over at the record company in England, and rah, 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 there she is.
What about the pornographic?
Maybe.
I didn't find that one, but I suppose the British pornographic industry would be even better.
I need fucking help. You can't get help. I can't afford to see a psychiatrist. I just can't. No.
So this song is a good one. We should get betterhelp.com as a sponsor, like I hear on all the other podcasts.
That would be fitting.
Great. It would be fitting.
You call in and have your therapy session.
By the way, I'm also a client.
So yeah, this song's a good one. I also really like the chorus with the harmony vocal on it. It's a nice change to have that different sound. Fun fact, Green Day's drummer, Trey Cool, named his daughter Ramona in honor of the Ramones.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Earl, were you rooting around for Ramona? Okay. Neighbors, in case you guys missed it. Lisa.
Another surf song in the 50s style. First, I think it's cute. We have sweet, sweet little Ramona, but then there's no story and everything rhymes in the worst way. If this was the first song I had ever heard by then, maybe I'd think, oh, how cute, it's rhyming. But now 12 songs in and I'm looking for some rhyming relief. I do like the sort of bridge in the middle of this. I think it's a bridge. Can't really tell, but when the music comes down and we get a fuller sound on the lyrics, it really kind of breaks up the songs. We don't have a lot of breakup in any of these other songs. There's no missing middle piece. I do like the sweet, sweet gang vocals before Little Ramona, and I don't even mind the the oohs before Ramona either. And I know in a lot of other music I've been like, please don't do the oohs, but in this one it kind of works. But I'm tired now, and I kind of want to listen to something with a little more texture.
Yeah, I mean, like if you had chicken soup with white wild rice and you took out like the chicken, what's left? Take any ingredients out of this.
So can I tell you before we move on to the next one that I listened to the movie podcast, and you mentioned the movie Neighbors, which I know has a big sort of story in the movie podcast about a
Yeah.
month or two ago. I watched Neighbors for the very first time.
Good for you. And sell me. How
And
good?
Des, I am on your side. It is a great movie. I liked it a lot.
It's a great movie. Fuck those guys.
Yes.
Fucking idiots.
I'm on your side on that one.
Okay, I love that. I love that. All right. Jesus Christ, we still got a couple to go here, right?
2 more songs.
Coming in at number 13, Surfing Bird. All right, so I am not crazy about the original version of this song, and I'm not crazy about this version of the song, but Joey's having so much fun here that I'm going to give it a pass, even though I've always skipped this track whenever I've owned this album and listened to it in succession. Dave.
This one was the second cover song on this album. It was originally performed by the Trashmen. I kind of messed up here and I didn't go back and listen to the original, but I would imagine it sounds vaguely similar.
But what? You don't just know that song automatically?
Well,
Are you kidding me?
I kind of do. But according to Wikipedia, the song is a combination of 2 R&B hits by the Rivingtons, Papa Mau Mau and The Bird's the Word. I didn't listen to those either. But the Ramones version, this song's a fun one. It sounds great. It's fantastic. The song was also covered soon after the Ramones version by one of my other favorite bands, the Cramps, and also by Pee Wee Herman on the soundtrack to the 1987 movie Back to the Beach. I did listen to that one because I have the soundtrack. You can't get away without listening to Little Pee Wee. Ed Stasium says the definitive version of the Trashmen's hit, referring to the Ramones version, when we recorded the track, a 40-second gap was left in the breakdown section. Joey later recorded the vocals separately, and we edited the tape to accommodate the length of the vocal performance. So they basically just cut it together. So good time.
I fucking hate this song. Can I just tell you, I fucking hate this song. I'm sorry. I've been trying to be nice because it's the fucking Ramones album. I fucking hate this song, Lisa.
Wow, I actually like this song. It's a surf song. You can see how the surf music merges into punk. And they put a little Ramones spin on it. We've got great isolated percussion that makes me happy. The crossover song that Dave mentioned, "Bird is the Word," was featured in that Family Guy episode where Peter needs to find the record, and then once he he goes in this big search and they look for the song and he finds the vinyl, and when he gets it he won't stop playing it over and over
I
and
remember.
over. Oh my, it's a beautiful episode. And special shout out to the nonsense at the end of the song, because Joey does really good with that when they do the me 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 papa moo mau mau, all that nonsense.
Yes.
It's very punk. So
Yeah,
I like it.
All right. Coming in at track number 14 and the final track of the album, Why Is It Always This Way? All right, we get some more super dark descriptive lyrics hidden in a pop punk track. For me, it's Joey's lyrics that have made this album palatable for 14 songs. That's all I got, man. Dave.
the song's fine. It sounds good. Are these just words, or is there real sadness behind the lyrics? I guess we'll never know. Ed Stasium says about this one, according to the original track sheet that this was the first song they recorded during the album sessions. On that first day in the studio, Johnny brought in a 45 RPM copy of the Sex Pistols' God Save the Queen and played it in the control room before they started recording. He considered them the competition and wanted to be sure that his ripping guitar sounded superior to Steve Jones's tone. Personally, I have a fondness for both guitarists, but Johnny's tone positively rips on Rocket to Russia.
Nice. Lisa.
Man, is that why I'm not that big of a Ramones fan? Because I'm a huge Sex Pistols fan? Is that why? Maybe.
I don't think you have to choose.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's room for both of them.
That's right.
So we get the hey, hey, hey at the opening of the song, which would become kind of a classic thing for them. Strange story here. A girl that was just acting normal the last time they saw her, and then suddenly she's unalived herself. And before I get a bunch of angry emails about using the word unalive, it's because we can get popped and delisted using the real term if it isn't the name of a song or an album. As our friends, the Suicide Bombers, will tell you that it happens to them.
All for the algorithm.
Yeah.
No, you have to. Everybody does it. You can't.
I
say
get
it.
so many angry emails about that every time I say it.
I
They think I'm being woke, which spoiler alert, woke means educated. So yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Anyway, this song is just kind of meh to me. I wish they ended the album with the previous song on more of an up note. This is a huge bummer.
It is kind of a bummer note
It's
to end
such
the
a
album
bummer.
It
Wow.
is. Dude, the doomsday clock is getting pretty close, huh?
It sure is.
Holy shit.
Well, we're in World War III. What do
We're
you want?
boned.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Fuck, man. Dude, they're like, the World War clock is like, they're like, we're at 3/4 of a second to midnight. It's like, fuck.
And they have the terrorist alert notification system shut down right now for maintenance. Are you kidding me?
Good timing. Good timing.
Oh.
Good. I mean, I don't see any sleeper cells coming to life now.
Oh no, we're fine.
Okay, that will end our discussion on Rocket to Russia. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it got manic and a little wild at times, but that's okay. That's what we're doing over here. Let's go over and do some favorite tracks and we'll replace some members. So what was your favorite track? I'll go first. My favorite track was Sheena's a Punk Rocker with Today Gone Tomorrow. Here Today Gone Tomorrow was a close second. Track I would cut would be Surf Bird because it fucking sucks. Dave.
My favorite track, Rockaway Beach. I would cut I Want to Be Well. Too much repetition for me, but I still like the song okay.
Rockaway Beach?
Yeah,
Over
Rockaway
Sheena's
Beach
a
is the
Punk
best.
Rocker? Huh.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I love them both, but
Okay.
I got to go with Rockaway.
Okay. Lisa.
You're gonna be surprised, Des. My favorite song is "Sheena's a Punk Rocker" with a shout out to "Here Today Gone Tomorrow."
Yes. Two best songs on the
That's
album.
weird, right?
Yeah. You're good.
And I'm cutting "Locket Love."
Locket Love.
Yeah.
She wants a locket ride. She wants a locket ride. That's so bad. What a hack. Holy shit.
only
Past my
because
bedtime.
like there's a lot of repetition on the album. I'm just taking out one of the formulaic songs. You know,
Yes,
it's not
yes.
horrible. So
No. Okay, if you had to replace one member of the band, who would it be and who would get the gig? This is going to be very easy for me. I would fire Johnny Ramone and replace him with Johnny Thunders.
God damn it.
Dave, what do you got?
That's exactly what I had.
wow.
Yeah,
it's good.
I get it. You know, Johnny Ramone's style works for the band, but you know, somebody with just a little more ability, they wouldn't have had to even change the logo because it would still say Johnny around the eagle and you know Johnny Thunders from the New York Dolls. But we can continue that thread and you know, give Tommy the boot and put Jerry Nolan on drums.
Sure. I'm fine with that. Lisa,
So
how did you see it?
If you bring Johnny Thunders in, do they all have to change their last name? Now it's Dee Dee Thunders and Joey Thunders.
No,
That'd be cool. The
he's
Thunders.
a special
okay.
special dispensation from the
All right.
Pope for
No,
Johnny Thunders.
he would just be Johnny Ramone.
Okay.
Thunders.
Johnny Ramone Thunders.
A hyphenated last name.
So I also got rid of Johnny more because I don't like him than anything else. I'm giving them Bob Mould from Husker Du because he's like one of the original punk rock guitar players, but he actually evolved and went beyond that, became an incredible musician, stepped into electronica. I think it would have given the Ramones someplace to go.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
A little, just a little flavor. Would have
Yeah.
been a little more flavor. All right, let's do some final thoughts and Watt scores. So without this album, we don't get some of my favorite punk bands, like I said, like Agent Orange, Circle Jerks. I know I'm not sure we're going to get some of the metal bands that I like from the 80s and the 90s. So as mind-numbing as it can be at times, and as simple as it is, it's a very important album. It's loaded with great tracks and lyrics. So this one for me is pushing 88 watts. Dave.
All right. This album is very well regarded, and there's lots of great stuff on it. I will say, not sure if it's my favorite Ramones album, but it definitely contains some band classics. There was lots of personality conflicts and drama to the band. I never went for all that stuff. I prefer to concentrate on the music when it comes to the Ramones.
Sure.
This band was hugely influential since their beginning into the 80s and 90s, and even after the originals were all gone. Without them, you wouldn't have Misfits, Black Flag, Social Distortion, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, the Donnas. There'd be no Green Day playing at the, quote, big football game last month without the Ramones. Another quote from that altpress.com article regarding their influence. Quote, Ramones made their London debut opening for the Flamin' Groovies at the Roundhouse July 4th, 1976, America's bicentennial. The Sex Pistols were playing out of town, but the rest of London's burgeoning punk scene attended, including members of The Clash and The Damned.
There we go.
As
The Clash and the Damned.
Yeah.
That's the place to go.
As Generation X's Tony James joked, seemingly every London band got faster and bought leather jackets the next day. So basically, the Ramones brought punk to London and were kind of the cause of the Clash and the Damned, and like all these other bands. I'm so glad I got to see the Ramones live, even just that once in concert. I'm a lifelong fan. I also forgot to mention that one time I was shopping at Trash and Vaudeville in New York City. I think it was shortly after Joey passed. The infamous, some of you guys out there might know about this guy. Des, you might know this guy, the infamous Jimmy Webb,
Of course.
rest in peace, who used to work at Trash and Vaudeville, was assisting me in my purchases, and I had picked out some jeans. Jimmy told me that Joey Ramone wore the same kind. It was super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. To this day, Trash and Vaudeville jeans are my brand, my favorite.
They're good stuff.
Yeah.
He gave off those Michael Monroe vibes.
Yeah, that guy was super cool.
Yeah, he was.
And we plugged them before, but I'll plug them one more time. Our friend Mike has a great Ramones tribute band in the Boston area called Warthog. I've done sound for them many times. They put on a fun show. So if they're playing near you, go see them. They're on Facebook at Warthog 1234. The Ramones are punk rock. If you don't like them, you are wrong. Try again. This is a great record. I will give it 92.6.
There you go. Lisa, deflate that score for us.
You guys are going to hate me so much.
Yep.
I like
what else is new?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding.
I like punk music, but I like it a little more hardcore. Ramones, for me, they are definitely iconic. They're memorable. Their social relevance is still alive today. Their style, both in music and look, still affects people. But I guess I'm not people. A lot of bands we've talked about, I kind of put them in the same basket. Beatles, Rolling Stones, AC/DC, I don't like them. And I'm not a big fan of the Ramones either. It's just not for me. Their simplicity just doesn't keep my attention. I feel like my generation was too close to them to appreciate it. I know, Dave, you're in my generation, but I think the generation behind us picked them up even harder than we did. It kind of just skipped over me. Having said that, do I like some of their songs? Yes, I do. Do I know the hits? Absolutely. Do I love seeing them all throughout pop culture? Yes, I absolutely do. Do I love seeing cover bands play them? Yes, I do. Will I ever listen to this album all the way through again? No. Is this my favorite Ramones, album on the planet? No. Is my favorite Ramones song even on this album? No.
Oh, no.
Was I a fan in the 80s? No.
No.
Oh, no.
They never even really crossed my radar other than being mentioned as like, influences and founders that led to some other great bands.
Yeah, I mean, they really kind of weren't necessarily greatly regarded in the 80s, but then
Yeah.
when the 90s came around, they really started to get their respect from musicians and from rock fans.
And they did that song for Pet Sematary that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
But
think
yeah, once the 90s hit, they really started to get that legendary
Status.
reputation.
and that's how it skipped over me, I think.
Yeah.
I skipped that.
Or at least that's the way
Yeah.
it felt like for me.
I found some fun stuff on this album. I did enjoy listening to it. It's just wore me out by the end. I'm giving it a 60.0.
Whoa.
What?
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, it smells like my wife is cooking a dog downstairs.
Oh, no.
no.
Yeah, usually it smells delicious. I don't know what's going on down there. Call 911. All right,
So-
add those.
So Des, did you give it a score, or did I miss your score, or did you not give us?
Oh,
the
I
number?
scored it. I gave it a big fat 88.
88.0.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went rookie score today.
I'm sorry, I missed that one.
I went
Would-
rookie score today. Rookie score too. 60.0. So
That's how you
Would
get
you-
ties. That's
Yeah.
how you get
Would you
ties.
listen to it again?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'd listen to it again.
So that's a yes for us, average overall, and we'll tally up the scores.
Charlie.
Okay, so on the Violent Vinyl album chart, the Ramones' Rocket to Russia from way back in 1977 comes in on the chart at number 18 with a total score of 80.20, just barely under Poison. Look what the cat dragged in.
This is better than Poison.
And above, this is very sad, Type O negative Bloody Kisses. No,
Yeah, that's right where it belongs. That's
Nope.
right where it belongs.
Also better
I love
than
it.
Typo.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. Since I have the next pick, let me tell you what we'll be listening to for the next 2 weeks. Now, I struggled with this after the whole debacle that went on this week. I just really wanted to give you guys just a great show next week. So Dr. Feelgood, Girls, Bullet Boys, some Dio albums. Mine was all over the place. And then I was like, maybe I'll do a winger. I'll do the winger album and I'll pair it with Lipstick and we'll just spend the whole afternoon just punching this thing in the dick. And I'm like, but I don't know, man. I want to give you guys a fucking quality show. So I decided on it. We're going to be doing a band that has never been featured on this show or the past show before. So I picked Metallica's best album, Kill 'Em All. Oh, I listened to it. It's so fucking good. And for the Should They Have Made It segment, we will be doing Wild Street and their song, Easy Does It. And I'll tell you what, I know this isn't from the 80s or the 90s, but their 80s, 90s style, they fucking should have made it. Go watch the video, Easy Does It by Wild Street. Video is kick-ass, song is kick-ass, and our listener, Sean, actually toured with this band for a minute in one of their later indications. Wait, what's the word I'm looking for? Incantations.
Incarnations.
Sure. Would you like me to try and spell it for you? So there you go. It's going to be Kill 'Em All by Metallica and Wild
Nice.
Street. Easy does it. Hey, did you ever see that movie? Our sister podcast. We will be breaking down The Princess Bride, a movie that I know absolutely nothing about. I'm hoping
You're
I
in
hate
for a
it.
treat.
Oh, I'm hoping I hate it because everybody's saying you're in for a treat. It's going to be a perfect movie.
it is
We all
one
love
of
it.
my favorite movies of all times. I forced Dave to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shit on it. I can already tell it's gay as fuck.
It's so
Okay.
good. Oh.
Until next time, take those albums out of the sleeve and let the music breathe. See you later.